5 feet 7, 190. His coach says no, not quite. He's only 5'5", but he's a powerful runner. His name is Poe Cobb, and he leads the Eastern Illinois University offensive attack. Defensively, for Youngstown State, then, the task confronting a couple of linebackers is very formidable. They have fine linebackers. Their names are Bob Lombardi, number 32, and Greg Fitzpatrick, number 55, as Youngstown State and Eastern Illinois collide here this afternoon in a Division II semifinal game, the winner to advance to a championship game 1 week from today. College football today, live from O'Brien Stadium in Charleston, Illinois. Two Mid-Continent Conference rivals, the Penguins of Youngstown State versus the Panthers of Eastern Illinois in a Division II semifinal game. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the Continental Insurance Companies and by Tuborg Gold. When you go for beer, go for the gold. Tuborg Gold. I would love to tell you how lovely it is here in Charleston, Illinois, but quite frankly, that was yesterday. It's nasty this afternoon, but we think we've got an excellent football game on hand. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, here to call the play-by-play for you. And working with us for the past 20 years, the head coach at the Air Force Academy, my good friend Ben Martin.
Well, Vern, I tell you, it's nice to be here, but December in Illinois, we got 32 degrees and misty rain, but the young people are really looking forward to this contest. It's going to be a good football game. Two good football teams from the same conference. Youngstown State for the year. They have been ranked currently number 2 in Division II. And check the record. They have only one defeat. They opened with wins over Northern Iowa, Wayne State, Ashland, Saginaw Valley, and Eastern Illinois, and then went on to post wins over Central State and Akron before their one loss this year to a Division I rival, Villanova, and they lost that one by just 5 points. Last week, in the first round of the playoffs, they won over Nebraska Omaha. Eastern Illinois, a complete turnaround. They were 1-10 a year ago. This time, 10-2. Big wins early, and then they won 4 in a row, lost on the road, first to Akron and then to Youngstown State in the first meeting between these two teams, 40-24. But last week, after completing a 5-game win streak with a win over UC Davis on the road in the first round of the playoffs, 35-31. We said at the outset that these two ball clubs are both in the same conference, and they have played many common opponents. They certainly have, Vern, and I think the fact that Youngstown beat Akron 27-3 and Eastern lost 17-16 is significant, except that was early in the year for Eastern. They've got their act together now. They're a much better football team, according to Coach Darryl Mudra. Youngstown State 10-1 for the year. Eastern Illinois is 10-2 for the year. It's going to be a dandy ball game. We invite you to sit back and enjoy it this afternoon on a rather raw day. We'll be back to take a look at Youngstown State offensively and defensively after these words. On the field, the Eastern Illinois University Marching Band under the direction of Harold Hillier and their pregame presentation here on this misty morning in Illinois. Youngstown State made the trek over from Youngstown a couple of days ago. They have been here for 2 days. They have primarily, under Bill Narduzzi, their head coach, primarily a power offense. Yes, they're a running team. They like to go with the I formation in the backfield. Only one wide out, 2 tight ends. They run a slam play inside, and then they'll come off the veer option to the outside, and they have the personnel to do that, and they throw the ball off their pass fake mainly. A very effective weapon. A couple of good tailbacks, in number 26, Robbie Robson, and number 22, Marshall Brumfield, and they will alternate these two men. Yes, they keep a fresh tailback in there. In the I formation, he's the guy that really takes the punishment. So Robbie Robson, Marshall Brumfield, both the same style runners. They can take the tough yardage inside and take the pitch outs to turn the corner. Both of them have good stats, as does the quarterback. He's a tiny guy for a quarterback. Keith Snoddy wears number 7. Keith is a great runner of the option. He has super athletic judgment, comes to the corner. He keeps it a lot. He's made almost 500 yards rushing himself. They have good balance in the offensive backfield. Now, they will surprise you because you would think with a power offense they're going to be primarily ground-oriented, which they are. But in Jim Ferrati, a tiny wide receiver, they have a potential game breaker. He's a superb pass catcher. Little kid, but he's about 4'6" in speed and has great body control. He can go up in the crowd, come back with the football, and he comes off the play fake and beats a lot of people deep. He's caught 41 passes, but his average catch is for over 20 yards. That's a very impressive statistic, Vern. It was just last week, as a matter of fact, against Nebraska Omaha. Ferrati caught the game breaker. He also had a big game the first time these two teams met, 40-24. We talked with him about that yesterday.
Jim, one of the really unique elements of this ball game is the fact that you both schools from the same conference, you have played each other already, and yet here you find yourselves matched again in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's true. I usually just figure to meet team one time during the season, and the way the brackets came out, we're going to meet them in the semifinals.
Of course, you won that first encounter. You won it big, 40-24. Does that give you a problem as a Youngstown football team facing a ball club that you've already whipped once?
No, not at all. We know how close the game got, and you know, fourth quarter we put a few drives together that really helped. But we know they're a fine football team.
You're basically a power football team, primarily a ground-oriented team. Yet here we are talking with you as a wide receiver because they do use you as a game breaker periodically.
Well, we hope that, you know, our running game goes. That's, you know, that's our bread and butter, and we feel the running game sets up the passing game. You know, it kind of helps us out.
Have you had a good week of preparation for this game?
We've had an excellent week, I think. We've got some good weather and been able to practice outside, and that's really helped us out.
Have a good one, Jim Ferranti.
Thank you.
Keep your eye on that young guy today, because all of a sudden they'll sneak him downfield and he'll be a key factor, Jim Ferranti. Defensively, Youngstown will line up in a 5-2, and they've got the two good linebackers.
They certainly do, and any time you use an odd defense, and those guarding the two linebackers have to do all the work. And I think the Youngstown and the Penguins really have a pair. Look at the hairdos on those two guys. They've made up their mind that they're going to be winners, and that's their way of dedicating themselves to that. Bob Lombardi and Greg Fitzpatrick.
You know, it looks like they might have played for you at the Air Force Academy.
A long time ago, Vern, a long time ago.
That's a look at the Youngstown State defense and offense. We will return here to Charleston, Illinois, and give you a preview of Eastern Illinois' offense and defense as college football today continues live right after these words. Down on the field, the Eastern Illinois University Marching Band. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll go down to the field for the playing of our national anthem. Eastern Illinois band and the national anthem, and here's the key running back, Pope Cobb. We talked about him, Ben. He's a tiny guy, but really powerful.
Pope Cobb, a very consistent runner. He's over 1,300 yards on a season, and he gets his 100 just about every time he lines up. He's a real tough inside runner. He spins, twists, and squirts. He can run outside, and he's also a good pass receiver. Pope Cobb.
In contrast to Youngstown State, Eastern Illinois can be expected to open it up. They've got a tall guy throwing the football. He's 6'4". He's just a junior. His name is Steve Turk.
They do run a wide-open attack. It's a pro-type passing offense with lots of wide-out receivers. And Steve Turk at 6'5", over 200 pounds, has a very strong throwing arm. He won't run the option and scramble very much, but very effective ball handler and thrower of the football.
Steve Turk is really an interesting story because last year he was a second-string quarterback at Joliet Junior College, was third team when the season started this year. We talked with him about the Cinderella story.
It's been almost a Cinderella year for you, hasn't it? Second team at Joliet Junior College last year, and here you are playing in the national semifinals for national championship.
Yeah, I guess it has. But I went through a lot of work this winter and this summer, and the coaching staff really helped me out and improved my reads with the defenses and my throwing ability.
As a matter of fact, I understand when fall practice started, you were listed as number 3 here.
Yeah, I was, because I was moved down from first to third after the spring game last spring.
Obviously, things have turned around for you. You have played this Youngstown team before, and it was not the kind of an afternoon that you want to remember personally, I know, with 6 interceptions.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna try to, not throw any interceptions this time and stop the turnover so we'll have a better chance.
Does the fact that they have beaten you once already this year make you concerned about what might happen in this game?
Not really, because we know what they're going to do, or we think we know what they're going to do, and we'll try to go by that.
Have a good ball game.
Okay, thank you.
Will alleviate your apprehension? No, he doesn't have the chaw in his mouth during the game. That's Steve Turk. Two great wide receivers, James Waring and Scott McGee.
And you have to have good wideouts in the pro attack. And James Waring, about 6'4", an excellent target. And Scotty McGee, who is a cutie, has quick feet, can jump, great body position.
Those are the two wide receivers and a quick look offensively. Defensively, Eastern will line up in a 4-3, and they have a fine defensive end in Pete Caton.
He's the anchor man along the line, about 220 pounds, a sophomore, very aggressive. He contains the option well and puts a lot of pressure on the passer, Pete Caton.
A quick look for you, Eastern Illinois and Youngstown State. Raw day, but a good football game. Two fine teams. We'll be back with a final comment as college football today continues after these words. This is a relatively young series between Youngstown State and Eastern Illinois. They have met only 5 times.
Yes, but, you know, in the last about 35 years, the Eastern has not had a winning team to speak of, so now they have winners, and they'd like to get back into the series with a win today.
Meeting number 6 this afternoon, second time they have met this year. And in addition to today's game between Youngstown State and Eastern Illinois, we'll have bonus coverage for you on the crucial Alabama-Auburn game. For a preliminary report on that Alabama-Auburn game, here are Dave Dials and Andrea Kirby.
In addition to our regular coverage today, ABC is providing special bonus coverage live and tape of the Alabama-Auburn game at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Bill Fleming is standing by there. Andrea Kirby is here to tell us why that game is so important.
Dave, it's a critical game for the University of Alabama. As you can see from the Southeastern Conference standings, Alabama leads Georgia by 1/2 game. So Alabama has got to win today against Auburn in order to go to the Sugar Bowl against Penn State. A tie will not do it. Right now, let's rejoin Vern Lundquist at Eastern Illinois.
Coin toss beginning down on the field. Stay tuned now for the Division II semifinal game between the Penguins of Youngstown State and the Panthers of Eastern Illinois.
Sunday.
NCAA football today live from O'Brien Stadium in Charleston, Illinois, a Division II semifinal matchup. The second-ranked Penguins of Youngstown State and the fifth-ranked Panthers of Eastern Illinois. Today's winner will advance to next week's championship game in Longview, Texas. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Goodyear, maker of Tiempo. Snow tire, rain tire, sun tire, one tire you can drive with confidence all year. By Dr. Grabo, the pipe that's different because it's pre-smoked. Made from imported briarwood, it needs no breaking in. And by IBM, helping put information to work for people. Down on the field, dressed in blue, the Eastern Illinois University Panthers and their head coach, Darryl Mudra. Youngstown State and Eastern Illinois. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Ben Martin to call the play-by-play and analyze what's going to happen for you here this afternoon. And Ben, an interesting thing that has happened here at Eastern in the turnaround under Darryl Mudra.
A tremendous job by Darryl. He's created an atmosphere, a winning, positive attitude, and everybody's caught on to it. They're all fired up, and to have a chance to be national champions in his first year, that's a fantastic opportunity.
And we will also develop the story of Bill Narduzzi at Youngstown State as the afternoon progresses. Stay tuned with us now as NCAA Division II semifinal encounter between Youngstown State and Eastern Illinois on a rather raw day here in Charleston, Illinois. Back with a kickoff after this. Number 23 for Youngstown is Chuck Hainali. He will be kicking off, and number 24, Mike Campana, will return it. On a nasty day in Charleston, Illinois, Vern Lundquist and Ben Martin, Division II semifinal. The winner of this one advances to the championship game against either Delaware or Winston-Salem. Here's Hainali, the left-footed kicker. It will be taken at the 10 by Mike Campana to the 20, 25, 30. Got room to run, and watch out.
Oh, wow!
He may go. He will score. the young man, number 24, Mark Campana. 90 yards, driving through the mist and the rain and opening this game with a 90-yard touchdown. Eastern leads it by a score of 6-0. Dan DiMartino is on to try and make it 7-zip. Well, how do you like them apples, Ben Martin?
It's supposed to be a slow track, Vern.
DiMartino has it through. Mark Campana opens this game with a sizzling note, and we will look at that 90-yard touchdown romp once again as this crowd of 9,000 has just settled in.
I tell you, Vern, from up here, of course, we could see the big alley opening up in the center of that football field. But down below, I think Campana's eyes must have gotten big as saucers, and you saw 3 guys ahead of him and only 1 white shirt, and now he's going to turn and loose. What a quick striking play that was. They had a plan to wedge up the middle. They turned out block. He's running awfully fast on a very heavy track. 6 points. What an opener.
You don't think they got excited, do you? To see his teammates raising their fists about the 15-yard line?
Oh, wow.
DiMartino will kick off for Eastern. It's already 7-0, and we've got 12 seconds on the clock. That is a 12-second, 90-yard run.
Beautiful play, well devised, caught him by surprise.
Marshall Brumfield, number 22, one of the deep men, and Robbie Robson, his running back and tailback, or his running mate, is also deep. That is Marshall Brumfield, and Dan DiMartino will kick it off.
What are the odds for back-to-back kickoff returns, Vern? I've seen it one time in my whole career.
DiMartino says he is set. 7-0 Eastern leads. This will be Marshall Brumfield at the 9. Fumbles, picks it up. 20. And down to the 30-yard line. So he got 20 on the counter punch. Let's take a look now at the Youngstown Penguin offense. They are 10-1 in 1978. There's the wide receiver, Jim Ferranti. Robbie Robson will open at tailback. Dwight Dumas, the fullback, a junior from Cincinnati. The quarterback is Keith Snoddy, a junior from Shreve, Ohio. First down, 10. Center Ed McGlasson. Up over the ball. I set, double tight end. Hand off to the fullback, Dwight Dumas, 5 yards over right guard after the 35. The offensive line for Youngstown State will line up this way. Emmett King, one tight end. He'll be on the left side. Tom Farina, left tackle, senior. Ralph Orsini, senior left guard from Mingo Junction, Ohio. Ed McGlasson, the center. Right guard is Tom Clifford. The right tackle, is Jeff Lear. And the other tight end is Tom Neola. It's second down, 5. Dumas again, Dwight Dumas, junior from Cincinnati. 697 yards on the year. Got 2 on that one. The tackle made by Tom Seward. It'll be third down and 3. $7-0 on Mark Campana's opening 90-yard kickoff return. Look at the defense for Eastern Illinois. Just an amazing story, Ben. They have not had a winning season until this year since 1951.
That's a fantastic thing, and you have to turn a program around completely to accomplish that, Vern.
Third down, 3. Ferranti is wide to the left side. I set, option play. Snoddy will keep, cut, caught, 1 yard short. Fourth down. Randy Melvin, number 73, made the tackle, a sophomore from Aurora, Illinois. Eastern Illinois' defensive line. And it's a 4-3. Here's Sam Carson, Tom Seward, number 53, Randy Melvin, number 73, and Pete Caton, number 83, is the right end. Fourth down. Chuck Canale is back to punt. Nice kick. Campana waits for it, grabs it at the 20, slips a little bit, got room. To the 30, flag is down. We may have a click back to the 23-yard line.
Very obvious clip, Vern, on that time. Trying to set the wall up for him. The guy right at the gate was a little bit over-anxious.
So Eastern Illinois has the ball back for the second time. They'll get it deep in their own end of the field. We'll be back. There was a clip on that last punt return, Ben. You might want to take a look at
Well, this is where it normally happens, too. When you're trying to set up the picket line of fence, and the first blocker is the guy that has to do it, and he just should have held back there. That's such an obvious penalty situation. The official right on top of it. Campana's trying to get behind the wall, but that clip, he knew it happened, so he wasn't really giving it everything I had. So they're set back 15 yards.
Eastern Illinois has the ball first down 10 at their own 12-yard line after the half the distance call. Steve Kirk, junior quarterback. Handoff goes to Pope Cobb, breaks one tackle, and gets 4 yards or 2 yards out of the 14. Mark Zetwick, number 68, made the tackle for Youngstown State. I was curious yesterday when they said, no, he's not really 5'7", he's more like 5'5".
He's still as wide as he ever was, though.
Yeah, that may be what Darrell Mudra had in mind. He's 5 feet 5 inches wide.
Original 5x5.
It'll be second down and 8, 7-0. Eastern leads on the opening kickoff return by Mark Campana. 12:07 to go, first quarter. Steve Turk, and you hear him well. It's Cobb again, coming left, up high, knocked down. That's the linebacker, Greg Fitzpatrick, who made the stop. Number 55, a senior from Marysville, Ohio. So Pope Cobb on 2 totes, picks up just 1 yard. It'll be third down and 9.
They have to be very careful back here. They're backed up inside their own 15, and over here would really hurt.
Offensive huddle, number 30 is Pope Cobb. Number 81, a freshman tight end, Rob Mahalik, and the quarterback, number 11, junior, 6'4", 215, Steve Turk. Throwing situation now. He sends James Waring wide to the right side and has a wing right. Scott McGee is in a wing to the right. Big split behind Scott Turk, and he will throw. Across the middle, caught. It's Jeff Forster, the running back. He's got a first down up at the 25-yard line. Kevin Statzler made the tackle, number 37. Let's take a look at the offensive backfield now for Eastern Illinois. They have picked up their first down or second first down of the game. Here's James Waring, the split end. Scott McGee, flanker. Pope Cobb, junior halfback from Clover, South Carolina. Jeff Forster, who just caught that 14-yard pass. And the quarterback, Steve Turk, junior quarterback. First down 10 at the 25. Wing right again. Pope Cobb darting for yardage. Runs into Bob Lombardi, a senior linebacker, and Terry Dittmar, the nose guard, number 59. Number 80 is Quentin Lowry for Youngstown State. Offensive line for Youngstown, or rather Eastern Illinois. They will line up this way. Number 70, Bob Norris, freshman left tackle. Kurt Aloisio, left guard. The center is Jack Lafferty. He is a fine one. Tony Scala, the right guard. Dave Miner, the right tackle. And the tight end is Rob Mahalik, freshman from Streator, Illinois. Second down, pitch out. Pope Cobb coming left. Looks for a block, doesn't find one. Knocked down for a loss at the 23. T.C. Reynolds, strong safety, the monster back from Cincinnati, came up to make the tackle. He's a junior, 5'9", 185-pounder, wears number 47. And that will set up a third down, 11.
Vern, the very first play that Turk threw the pass, he did a super job.
Tom Harder, the left end. Marvin Sperlaza, the left tackle. Terry Dittmer, Mark Zetwick, and Quentin Lowry, the front five for Youngstown State. It's a third down, 11. Waring left, McGee is right. Turk will be throwing. Good protection. Cox fires. It's almost intercepted. Was it trapped or picked off? It was intercepted. Number 28, Tom Jaros, gets up. That is his third interception of the year. We'll look again.
Vern, Steve Turk threw this ball right into double coverage. He came back, straight drop back, planted well, threw the ball well on a curl-in pattern, but the receiver slipped and fell down, as did one of the defenders, and we have a big turnover deep in Eastern territory.
Keep in mind that the first time these two teams met, Steve Turk threw it 6 times for interceptions and promised it would not happen today. It's first down 10 at the 35. Snoddy has him in the eye. Gives to his fullback, Dwight Dubas. He plunges for 5 down to the 35-yard line. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Now let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
This is WYTV, Channel 33 in Youngstown, Ohio.
Second down. We'll call it 6 at the 30. 7-0 game, 9:07 to go first quarter. Ferrante is wide to the right side. Double tight end set for Youngstown. Here's the tailback, Robbie Robson. And he is a yard short of the first down. Went over the back of Ed McGlasson into the arms of Ira Jefferson, linebacker. Robbie Robson on the year, 781 yards. He and Marshall Brumfield alternate in that offensive backfield. Brumfield has been injured for many of the last 5 games. 7 touchdowns on the year and a 3.9 per carry average. Third down, a long one. 7-0 game with 8:28 to go first quarter. Robson again, first down. He keeps the drive going inside the 25 at about the 23. The tackle made by Pete Caton, number 83. Robbie Robson from Wellsburg, West Virginia, a sophomore. There's the defensive unit of Eastern Illinois, number 83, Pete Caton, who just made the tackle. Number 51, Alonzo Lee, junior middle linebacker. There's Pete Caton. They bring the sticks out and measure, and they didn't get the first down.
Byrne, they've been running the ball straight ahead to establish the inside phase of the Beer attack, but I think it's a well-devised thing, even if they weren't going to, because of the conditions on the field. They want to maintain possession, run straight ahead behind good line spacing.
Georgia Tech has jumped out to a 7-0 lead over the University of Georgia. 7-0 first quarter score. That's our score also. First down 10, Snoddy handoff. Goes to Robson, wiggles his way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. There's Robbie Robson. You can see the effect of the mud already. It's going to get real sloppy before the day is out. It was just gorgeous here yesterday, but you folks in the Chicago area know what we're getting today. It's a little bit of what you had yesterday. Second down and 5 at the 19-yard line, 7-0 game. Ferrante wide to the left, the handoff, Robbie Robson gets 2 tough yards at right guard. Steve Parker, number 79, and Sam Carson, number 65, were down there to make the tackle. Delaware leading Winston-Salem 7-0. Significant? Yes, indeed, because the winner of this game will face the winner of that game for the Division II championship a week from today in Longview, Texas. And that game will be televised over most of these ABC stations. We have a third down and 3 with 6:58 to go first quarter on a muddy track in Charleston, Illinois. Double tight end set once again in the eye. Robson the deep back. Dumas up short. Snoddy on the option. Keeps and cuts. He's got the first down, plus he is to the 5. First and goal at the 2. Glenn Thomas, number 22, saved 6. But Keith Snoddy, who has 447 yards rushing this year, adds to that total with a first and goal at the 2.
They really set the option play up well, Laverne. They ran inside a lot, faking to the fullbacks that time, and Keith Snoddy did an excellent job of athletic judgment because he did not pitch the ball out. He kept it to drive straight up there for positive yardage.
There's the rushing average for the year, 447, a 3.8 average, 3 touchdowns, and he's carried it 118 times. That was coming in today. First down goal, 7-0 game, 6:21 to go first quarter. Robson up high, caught short. Alonzo Lee, Steve Parker, number 79, Sam Carson, number 65, all in that area. And you can see how far Robson says they have to travel to the goal line. And we'll give you an end zone view now on this second down and goal, about 1.5 feet away of the equalizer. Eastern Illinois' 4-3 defense breaking now. 79 is Steve Parker, 65, Sam Carson. Oh, the 2 down linemen. 53, Ed McGlasson, the Youngstown center. Robson again. Yes, touchdown. He broke the plane. This is all he had to do. Robbie Robson, the sophomore from Wellsburg, West Virginia, gets his 8th touchdown of 1978. And Chuck Nally will come on and try the equalizer as we look at this play once again.
This is really what Youngstown State does. They run power out of the tee. They have good line blocking, not much in the way of big spaces, but they're used to that. They're going to pound that ball into the end zone, and Robbie does a good job of getting it in there.
With 5:40 to go first quarter, Chuck Nally has a chance to tie it up. A little bit of a high snap, and Nally's kick. No good. He missed it. Nally for the year was 36 out of 40. Now he is 36 out of 41. So Eastern Illinois still leads. These two teams will put points on the board. There's the average points per game for the year for Eastern Illinois, 34.8, and they've given up an average of only 18.5. And Youngstown can score just as rapidly. They've averaged 34.5 and yielded only 14.9. That's fairly even.
Very close, a very similar record.
Here's Nally kicking to Campana. Campana has to chase this one. It is out of bounds. We'll bring it back and kick it over from the 35-yard line. Mark Campana, a junior from Kent, Ohio, 5'7", 165-pounder who exhilarated this crowd with a 90-yard romp on the opening kickoff. That was about 9 minutes ago. We've got 5:40 remaining in the first quarter, 7-6, and Campana would like a shot to do it again.
Yes, you know, that missed extra point is always significant, Vern, and especially in a game where you're going to have a tiebreaker if it ends up tied. They want to keep even with each other and then make their decisions later in the football game. But now Bill Nardozzi has to make a decision very early in this contest.
Yes, keep in mind that in these playoff games in Division II and Division 1AA, there's no tie. They go to a sudden death tiebreaker, and I had the thrill of doing one of those a couple of years ago between Akron and Northern Michigan, and boy, it is something to see.
That was the only one where this system was ever utilized, wasn't it?
I think so, yes. That was a 29-26 game, and we may have one of those on our hands today. Here's Mark Campana waiting for the kick from Chuck Nally. This will be short. Campana comes up, and he will not get it. It's taken by Tim Moroder, number 57. Moroder is down at the 34-yard line. He's a backup offensive lineman and probably got his eyes wide as saucers when that ball came down to him.
I tell you, Greg Fitzpatrick, the regular linebacker, he's on the special teams. He came down there like your basic kamikaze, and he almost got the job done.
First down 10 Eastern. Steve Turk is 1 out of 2. Poe Cobb has carried 4 times for no yards so far. He's the deep back in the eye on the right side of your screen. Jeff Forster is the fullback. On his hip, Turk is back. Screen pass, beautifully set up. Here's Cobb with a whale of people in front of him. With a 50, with a 40. Cuts back, one more man. He is down at the 26-yard line. A brilliantly executed screen pass.
This is a great football play. They come off the basic slam, play fake, bootleg hide, looks to the right, looks off the defense, throws back to Pope over here, and Cobb is down the sidelines behind the failings of blockers, and he's a quick little fella. He's found his blockers exceptionally well. He almost broke this all the way. I think on a dry field, he'd have made it into the end zone.
First down 10. Lonnie Denton had just come up in fullback position, and he starts early. Kind of anxious to get going. Lonnie Denton, number 34. And that should be a motion penalty against Eastern Illinois. Illegal motion. Eastern, they'll walk off 5.
I'll tell you, that was one of the strangest illegal motion plays I've ever seen. He made contact. He made about 5 yards of motion.
Pope Cobb versus Youngstown State in 76, 35 yards, 77, 48. And the first meeting this year, 91 yards on 17 rushes. But they were behind so quickly, so early, that he didn't have a chance to carry the ball that much. Eastern Illinois had turnovers on their first 4 possessions, and they were down 19-0 to Youngstown in the first 4 minutes of the ball game. Now they have a lead of 7-6, and they're knocking on the door. First down, 15 at the 32. Pope Cobb, wrapped up, knocked down, taken down by Terry Dittmar, number 59, junior nose guard from Suffield, Ohio. Kurt Alowisio was trying to lay the block on the left side. Bob Lombardi also came up defensively. Delaware leading Winston-Salem first quarter 17-0.
Looks like a blowout there. My goodness. I know Delaware was good, but Winston-Salem was ranked number 1 most of the year, Vern.
And we'll update you on another game. Georgia Tech 14 and Georgia nothing. And if they lose, of course, Alabama is in the Sugar Bowl. Here's Turk on the roll. Drills it. Caught. James Waring at the 21-yard line. T.C. Reynolds with the tackle. That young man is 6'4", 190, and that is his 66th catch of the year.
It's a very well-devised plan. They flooded the wide side of the field with 3 receivers, and Turk did a great job of picking out the open one. They had a flat man, a deep man, and a curl-in man. He hit James Waring on the curl-in shot.
3rd down 5. 7-6 ball game with 3:59 to go first quarter. See if Turk is throwing on this long yardage situation. Scott McGee in motion. Turk will throw.
Same play the other way.
Waring first down and goal at the 9-yard line. Last time these two teams met, that young man caught 11 for better than 100 yards. He's got 2 for the afternoon already.
And this is pure Darrell Mudra. Same play the other way. It wakes well to the right, becomes black, flips it over, and James Waring is open on the curl-in pattern again. They're really knocking on the door, Vern.
First down goal at the 8. Eastern leads it 7-6. 3:30 to go first quarter. High set once again. The fullback, Lonnie Denton, 4 yards down to the 5. Greg Fitzpatrick wrapped him up. Lonnie Denton, a junior from Shelbyville, Indiana. He has 405 yards for a 4.1-yard average and 4 touchdowns for the year. He and Jeff Forster kind of alternate. Lonnie Denton actually was the starter earlier in the year. Now McGee comes out, and they'll go with a strong formation as Forster comes in and will have the power I. Rob Mahalik also has come out. So we'll have one wide receiver. He'll be wide right. That's James Waring. A power I set with Pope Cobb, the deep back, in the I. Strength left, the handoff. Denton, touchdown, standing up. Lonnie Denton, the junior, 6 foot, 210-pounder. They love it in Charleston. Jack Lafferty and Kurt Aloisio open it up.
Well, Lonnie Denton burst through there because I think all the stand-up defenders were keying on the other fella. They were looking for Pope Cobb, and he flipped it to the short man. He's in there quickly.
Don DiMartino is on to try the extra point. Andy Vogel will hold. This could make it 14-6. Nailed it. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And Eastern Illinois has resumed command with a 14-6 lead. I think I saw her in the lounge last night. I'm not sure. That's the Pink Panther, Eastern Illinois mascot. 67-yard drive in 6 plays, 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Or it took 2:45. There's Dan DiMartino, 2 for 2 on extra points. And he will be kicking off for the second drive of the ball game. Marshall Brumfield, number 22. And Robbie Robson is also deep, wearing number 26. 14-6. 1 turnover so far. Youngstown converted that into a touchdown romp of 35 yards. And Eastern has put 2 on the board, a 90-yard kickoff return by Mark Campana, and that 5-yard run by Lonnie Denton, and they lead by 8. And the winner of this game meets the winner of Delaware-Winston-Salem for the national championship next week. And we have a report now from the bench that Tom Seward, senior defensive tackle from Eastern Illinois, has been taken to the hospital with a possible broken leg. Oh. He is out of there. I didn't even see him get injured in the game.
The one that clipped.
Yeah. Here's the kick. Brumfield has it, and he is knocked down at the 16-yard line. Tackle is made by Jeff Harvey. No, Tim Matichek, number 88. Not Jeff Harvey. Makes a nice tackle like that. We want to get him right. Tim Matichek made the tackle. And now gets the congratulations of his teammates. First down 10. Youngstown has the ball at their own 17 with 2:45 to go first quarter, and they trail by 8 points. Robbie Robson, number 26. Dwight Dumas, number 49. Robson to the left of your screen. Keith Snoddy is the quarterback. Ferrati is wide to the right. Dumas, 3 yards out to the 20. Tackle made by Alonzo Lee, number 51. He's a junior from Washington, D.C., 5'10", 215-pounder. There's a look at Alonzo Lee, starting in place of Don Pittman today. It's second down 7. 14-6 ball game. Double tight end set. Tom Miola tight right. Emmett King is tight to the left, and Ferrani is split wide left. Robbie Robson out to the 24-yard line. That will leave them still 3 yards shy of the first down. It was really nice here in Charleston yesterday. About 50 degrees, the sun out, clear azure blue skies. And today, well, not quite.
They kept telling us though it was doing something up north, and sooner or later the natives here know that what they get in Chicago is going to come down here.
There's a look at the campus of Eastern Illinois. 10,000 students here in Charleston, located on the highway between St. Louis and Indianapolis. Third down. Snoddy on the option goes left, pulls up. He's caught and dropped. Pete Caton, they call him the sledgehammer, and he laid into Keith Snoddy that time, a sophomore from Penfield, New York. Asked him yesterday why he wasn't smiling when they took a photograph for the pregame show. He said defensive players don't smile.
And he didn't. He had that sledgehammer with him at practice, too. He carried that thing around. Heck, I couldn't even lift it.
I called him sir. There's Mark Campana back at the 42. And Chuck Hain-Alley is at the goal line getting ready to kick on 4th down and a bunch. 53 seconds to go, first quarter. Nice kick by Hanali. At the 50, it's Campana coming to his left. Tries to get outside, can't. Good downfield tackle. Bob Hill, freshman from Barberton, Ohio, made the tackle downfield. But nonetheless, Eastern still has good field position at their own 47-yard line. And we have 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. I'm proud of you, Coach, though. You brought your long johns along with you. I brought mine, too, and put them on this morning and discovered I'd made a mistake. I brought my wives. They don't fit very well.
Well, you married a little woman.
First down, 10, fumble. Eastern gets it back. Steve Turk. That's the first fumble of the day. Steve is from Morris, Illinois. Was a backup quarterback at Joliet Junior College last year. Actually was the starter there, but they lost a couple of games, and they were primarily ground-oriented. He's a passer. Youngstown opponents have averaged only 82.4 yards rushing per game in 78, and they're not having much success today.
I'll tell you, anytime you're under 100 yards per game, that's really playing Big D.
Blitz is on, 2nd down, 12. They pop it out right side, short and incomplete. Intended for Scott McGee, sophomore from Dallas Heights, Illinois. James Waring has 66 catches. This young man has 44 for the year and 12 touchdown catches.
That's really a great threat to have them wide out on each side of that line of scrimmage. You know, despite the fact the officials keep a dry ball in the football game, when you put it down, making it ready for play, it picks up a lot of moisture and some mud. It's very difficult to secure the ball exchanges. They're finding out, especially in the middle of that gridiron.
3rd down and 12. Eastern is 2 out of 2 on 3rd down conversions, and Turk is 4 out of 6 for 78 yards. May not get rid of it. He does not. Caught and dropped by Terry Dittmer, number 59, and Tom Harder, number 24, the defensive end. We have completed 15 minutes of play. That's the end of the first quarter with our score, Eastern 14 and Youngstown 6. If you're coming to a playoff game, travel in style on a fire truck.
Got their own model. The top's down, though.
Absolutely. Not necessarily the day to run around with a fire truck. Here's a punting situation. And Scott McGee kicks. It is taken at the 30-yard line. Scott Gilliland made the tackle. Georgia Tech leading Georgia 14-0, first quarter score. And a Georgia Tech victory puts Alabama into the Sugar Bowl against Penn State. That game to be televised on ABC on New Year's Day. That ought to be a great one. You think the Bear won't have them ready for Joe Paterno's guys, huh?
Oh, will he?
Get in there?
It's a Civil War all over again.
Yeah, that's right. First down, 10. Youngstown has the ball. They trail by 8 points. Vern Lundquist, along with former Air Force coach Ben Martin. Hand off to the fullback, Dwight Dimas, picks up about 4 yards. No, Snoddy kept it. Fooled me. And he's out to the 34-yard line. Keith Snoddy, junior quarterback from Shreve, Ohio. He is not the passing quarterback. They have a backup named Bill Fink, who has played quite a bit, and we may see him some today. And he's the young man who threw the winning touchdown pass last week in their win over Nebraska-Omaha. There's Bill Narduzzi, in his 4th year as head coach at Youngstown State. Really a likable guy.
Yeah, super coach. Great background. He's doing a great job at Youngstown.
2nd down and 5. I formation. This time the give goes to the fullback, and he's straight up the middle, close to the first down near the 40-yard line, as Ray Jeske, number 31, and Randy Melvin, 73, wrap him up. Dwight Dumas is a junior from Cincinnati. The running backs at Youngstown have marvelous statistics. He's got 697 yards for the year. Robbie Robson, the tailback, 781. And Marshall Brumfield has 750, and then you mix in 400 yards from the quarterback, and that's a pretty potent ground attack.
Very well balanced, too, that you can't key on any one of those fellas. If so, the option series really comes alive.
It will be 3rd down and 1. 13:44 to go first half. You look at Keith Snoddy. They trail. Quarterback sneak. He got it at the 42-yard line. Alonzo Lee made the tackle. We will reset that defensive unit that you are looking at right now. Number 31 is Ray Jeske, the linebacker. Up front, they've got Pete Caton, 83, Randy Melvin, 73. Tom Pettigrew is in there now, number 84. And Don Pittman has also come in, number 12. Sam Carson, 65, is in there. And Pittman is in as a linebacker. It's 1st down 10. Motion. You hear somebody yelling at Alonzo, the middle linebacker. The handoff to Dumas at left guard, cracks out across the 45 to the 49-yard line. End zone view. It'll be 2nd down and about 3 at the 49. Well, we'll make it, 2nd down and 3.
Vern, Youngstown is using tremendous spaces in their offensive line, and I think Eastern Illinois is pretty soon going to have to jump into those gaps to penetrate across the line of scrimmage. They're being spread too thin, despite the fact they're in basically a 9-man front against this running game.
2nd down, 3. I set. Ferranti is wide right. Snoddy has not thrown yet. Option play. He keeps, pays the price. Pete Caton, the sledgehammer. And let's look at Pete Caton in isolation.
Pete Caton, number 83, a big, strong sophomore. He makes the inside move, and he's got the quarterback on the option play. And I mean, he has got him. He's a very strong player, and he knows where the football is.
3rd down and 5. Let's see if Snoddy throws for the first down. This will be only the 2nd 3rd down that Youngstown has faced. They are 0 for 1 thus far. 3rd and 5 at the 48. They trail by 8, 14 to 6 with 12:06 to go in the half. Ferranti is wide right. Snoddy will throw. Caton is after him, and he throws it short. It is complete to Dumas for the first down at the 46-yard line. Dwight Dumas of Cincinnati makes the catch, and Snoddy really got belted by Caton as soon as he delivered the ball.
I noticed he turned around and tried to catch the number of that truck that hit him.
Thought that fraternity had driven the fire truck onto the field. Let's look at it again.
It's a drop back pass. The backs divide, and he has his back turned to Caton, comes in, hits him. It's really a good delivery, though. It's a delay play, set up very nicely, a good execution, a kind of a very safe pass to get off the hook.
Bill Moore made the tackle. And it's 1st down 10, 45-yard line. Marshall Brumfield is in for the first time offensively. Makes the carry on right guard. It doesn't pick up much as Randy Melvin, number 73, is there. Sophomore from Aurora, Illinois. 5'11", 225-pounder. Number 31 you see is Ray Jeske. Number 12 is Don Pittman, a sophomore linebacker. The ball at the 45. It's straddling the 45 of Eastern Illinois. As Youngstown, they won the first time 40-24, but they had a 29-7 lead at the half, and Eastern came back to close it to 29-24 before Youngstown pulled away. Motion from Jim Ferranti. Play action. Snoddy looks for Ferranti, and he is deep. Down there, intercepted. Picked off by Wilbur James, a freshman from Washington, D.C. His first interception of the season. And
this is a tough thing to do. Jim Ferranti comes across the formation in motion, and then he cuts it up, and he's going to run a fly pattern straight down the field. The ball is thrown, but it's a little bit underthrown. Perfect position by Wilbur James, and he takes the intercept. That's a thrilling play for a young football player to make in a very important football game as this is.
There's the young freshman from Washington, his first interception of 1978. Turnovers now even at 1-1. Handoff up the middle. It goes to Jeff Forster, rather. And he squirts out across the 15 near the 16-yard line as Greg Fitzpatrick makes the tackle. Tony Scala, number 62, laying the block to get him through that time. Number 95 is James Waring. It'll be second down, 5. 10:33 to go, first half of play. An end zone view of the Youngstown defense. 10-1 on the year under Bill Narduzzi. And there's the Eastern team under Darrell Mudra. 10-2, first winning season since 1951. They got a chance to go to the championship game against either Delaware or Winston-Salem a week today. Scott McGee in motion. The fullback, Forster, a couple. It'll be 3rd and 3 as Greg Fitzpatrick again makes the tackle. 10 minutes exactly to go, first half. Last report on that Delaware-Winston-Salem game had Delaware jumping out to a 17-0 lead. There's the season stats on Jeff Forster, 114 yards and a 2.8 average, not necessarily gaudy, but he has not been playing all that much. Lonnie Denton had been the starter for much of the year. Fumble. Turk reaches out, grabs it back. That's the second mishap we have had on the snap between Jack Lafferty and Steve Turk. And it will be 4th down.
We'll see a lot of those, Vern, I think, because the ball really is a little bit hard to handle, and they're a little bit uptight when they get back up into their own territory, as they have been, and so they've got to get out where they can relax a little bit.
There's the wide receiver, Jim Ferrati, who also doubles as the kick return specialist for Youngstown State. He waits for it at midfield. And Scott McGee. No, it is not Scott McGee. Larson back to kick. It's blocked. And slides off the side at the 25-yard line. That ball was partially blocked, and Youngstown will get it at the 29-yard line. So Youngstown gets a break on the block kick. We've got 8 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half of play. 14-6 still our score.
3 years after the birth of its women's division, the NJCAA offers championships in 13 sports. The NJCAA applauds the junior colleges for expanding opportunities for women in sports.
Ball has been spotted at the 29-yard line. Joe Shartner blocked that kick, and we'll look at it after this play. But Youngstown with a good break. They've got a tremendous break now. Short drive, 29-yard line. Heath Snoddy brings them up. Wing to the left side is Jim Ferrati, double tight end offense. Now Ferrati in motion, number 82. Draw play. Marshall Brumfield shakes the tackle, gets loose on the romp. Another tackle, still up, down at the 20. He broke 2 tackles before he was finally knocked off his feet by Bill Moore, number 14. Marshall Brumfield from Duquesne, Pennsylvania. Here's the block kick, Ben.
And this is the big play. A little high snap that lost up their time. And they only rushed about 6 people, but they had a little game in the side, and they got through the spacing, got a hand on it. It wasn't just partially blocked. Could have been knocked right out of the end zone with a straight-on hit.
Second down 1. Youngstown at the 20-yard line of Eastern Illinois. I set once again. This is Brumfield up the middle inside the 15 to the 10-yard line. Marshall Brumfield, 6 feet, 190 pounds. And Bill Moore with the tackle.
That wide line spacing that Youngstown State is using is really being effective, and Eastern has not caused them to close it up.
Now, in a rotating role with Robbie Robson, here's a young man that has picked up almost 800 yards for the year.
That's amazing.
First down and goal just inside the 10. 14-6, Youngstown trails. Brumfield for the 3rd consecutive time. This time picks up 3 at left guard. Pete Caton is there, number 83. Ray Jeske, number 31. And Don Pittman, number 12. All 3 helping out on the tackle. It'll be second down goal from just outside the 6-yard line. Pittman looking over at the sidelines. I'm not sure whether Darrell Mudra's on the sidelines or not. He spends a lot of times up here on the roof.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. Today he will, particularly because it's not so nice down on the sideline.
One of the few coaches who coaches from the press box. It's second down. High set once again. Ferrati wide left. Snoddy pitches back from field to the 5, in, standing up, touchdown. Marvelously executed option play to the left side. The fake to the fullback, set it up, and he just rolled into the score.
This is a basic veer attack option play. Snoddy right down the line, perfectly thrown pitch out, cut back past the block on the wild side, and Brumfield's in for the score. They're right back in the ball game, and let's see if they go for 2.
I believe they are. They've got the ball set up at the left hash mark. So they will try and go for 2 and tie it up. It's 14-12 now with 6:57 to go in the first half. And a block punt and an interception have set up both of Youngstown's scores. Looking for Ferrati. Now going. It's knocked down. Incomplete. Sam Carson deflected the ball. 6 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the first half. Youngstown has narrowed the margin, but they still trail by 2 points. Mark Campana, number 24, is the deep man of 3. Tim Baroder and Lonnie Denton are astride him. Here's Chuck Canale with the kick. Campana at the 6. He returned 190 to open the game. Will not this time. Down at the 21-yard line. Pat Dorina, number 20, got down there to make the tackle. And Eastern Illinois gets the ball back at their own 21. Oh, that make you feel cold?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a duck out on that pond, I tell you.
Doesn't feel like ducks here. There's the tennis courts. That's a lake that is adjacent to O'Brien Field here in Charleston, Illinois, a town of 18,000, located just east of Mattoon. High formation. Kirk will throw. Pops it out, caught. First down, James Waring at the 34-yard line. That's 3 for him today. He caught 11 the first time these two teams played, and has 69 for the year now.
This is a basic fake off the I formation slam play. Steve Turk plants and throws a curl-in pattern perfectly timed to James Waring. Nice catch.
Kevin Statzer and Tom Jarris on the tackle. It's first down 10 at the 34-yard line. There's James Waring, 6'4", 190 from Miami, Florida. Here's Turk on the roll again. Looking deep for Scott McGee, but he'll run it, and it's knocked down at the 37-yard line. He's not a runner. Bob Lombardi, the linebacker, over to make the tackle on Steve Turk. It'll be second down and 7 with 6:05 to go in the first half of play. 14-12. Recap for you. Opening kickoff. Mark Campana, 90 yards. Eastern won it. A pass interception at the 35-yard line sent up a 1-yard run by Robbie Robson. The extra point no good, made it 7-6. Lonnie Denton scored to make it 14-6, and Marshall Brumfield has scored for Youngstown to make it 14-12 when the try for 2 did not work. Handoff goes to Pope Cobb. A flag is down as he is across the 40 to the 42. Greg Fitzpatrick, the linebacker. Boy, they are active linebackers. Daryl Mudra, as we said, is up in the press box. He's nice and warm. His assistants and his players are down on the sideline. You see him right in that middle window, leaning back right now. Cup of coffee and a hot dog and say, play ball, guys. He does that because he likes the perspective he gets.
Yes, he has a much better look at the battlefield. He can see the plays opening up. He can watch the defense deploy, and basically that's what he's looking at, the overall picture, and that's the only place you can see it. The coach on the sideline has the worst seat in the house.
Do you like the idea of sitting in the press box?
Today I would.
Yes, we might point out that Daryl Mudra is down in the press box and we are up here on the roof.
But you know, coaching in Colorado Springs as long as I did, I got used to being on the sidelines in the cool weather. We don't have much air, but what we have is refreshing.
Yes, I know. Illegal procedure, the penalty against Eastern Illinois. They mark off 5 and it's second down 11. Play action again. Turk, good protection. Fires it out, drops. That was a catchable pass. Scott McGee down around the knees at the 45, and he couldn't hang on. 5:33 to go first half. Turk is now 5 out of 8 for 87 yards, and Eastern is 3 out of 5 on third down conversions. There's the tiny guy. He was talking yesterday about his teammate, James Waring, and he said if there's not an All-American receiver in this country in Division II, I don't know where he is unless that guy makes it.
That's a real fine statement to make, and both these young guys are really super receivers.
He said he was going to make the All-Charleston team. Thought he had a shot at that. I said, Scott, I think you do. Definitely. It's third down. Kirk back to throw. Four-man rush, no blitz. Intercepted again. Picked off up close. Youngstown has the ball at the 22. Tom Jarris. No, it's Tom Harder, number 24, the defensive end, but his first interception of the year. A junior from Level Green, Pennsylvania. He just kind of laid in wait for the ball. And that's 2 interceptions against Eastern this year.
The Goodyear Tiempo.
For the third time, Youngstown gets the ball inside the 40, Ben.
They're trying that throwback screen out there, but they had a sneaker. He's hanging around there waiting for it, and so Tom Harder intercepted. Critical turnover.
Ferrante on the roll, draw play, Brumfield. Comes left. Pete Caton gets outside him. Inside the 20 to the 17. Bill Moore made the tackle on Marshall Brumfield, who has one of the 2 touchdowns for Youngstown thus far. Well, Steve Turk had thrown for 27 touchdowns this year, but he has equated that almost to 21 interceptions, and he's had 2 today.
Yeah, and he was trying to avoid that. That was one of those unfortunate things. To throw the ball away on a screen attempt when you're not near the sidelines is very difficult to think about.
There's Bill Narduzzi on the far side. Second down and 5. Youngstown threatening to go ahead for the first time in the game. Blitz look for Eastern Illinois. They're coming. Here's the handoff left side to Brumfield. Plunges inside the 15. He is close for the first down at the 13-yard line. And it's a little sloppy down there on the field. There's Marshall Brumfield, the tackle made by Randy Melvin, number 73. Senior from Duquesne, Pennsylvania.
Keith Snoddy did a great job of checking off away from the blitz problem, man. He was very cool under pressure. He checked. He had a wide side of the field play, and he called to the short side, and they got away with it.
40 yards on 7 carries for the afternoon in a reserve role for Marshall Brumfield. And they will measure, bring the sticks out and see if he got the first down. 4:36 to go in the first half. Here's the stretch. Little bit short. Down in Texas, they call that a smidgen.
A smidgen?
Yeah, he's a smidgen short.
Not only that, he's about 4 inches short.
1 out of 2 on third down conversions for Youngstown. They've got one now.
But they're in 4-down country, Vern. You know, they can use 4 and then make a decision on field goal or go for it. That's the way this game's going. I think they're just going to go toward that end zone.
4:35 to go, first half. There's a look at Dwight Dumas, number 49, and Marshall Brumfield, number 22. Keith Snoddy kind of loping up to the line of scrimmage on third down. Ed McGlasson, the 6'4", 240-pound senior center, is over the ball. Quarterback sneak, got it. First down just outside the 10. So Snoddy picks up the first down 10 and will get the benefit of a dry football and start. It'll be at the 11-yard line.
The last time they were down there, they had first and goal from just inside the 10, which is the toughest spot on the field to get a first down, despite the fact you'd like to have one. This is almost as tough, but they can make a first down before they make a touchdown.
Brumfield will beat the deep back in the eye now. 14-12 ball game with 4:17 to go first half. And Youngstown with an opportunity to go in front for the first time today. Brumfield left side. Caught after a gain of 2 by Pete Caton, who has really been active at that defensive end position, number 83. Tom Farina with the block, number 70 on the left side. 79 is Steve Parker, who was in there. 51, Alonzo Lee. And you look at the end zone view of O'Brien Field here at Eastern Illinois' campus in Charleston, Illinois. Once again, Tom Stewart taken to the hospital with a possibility of a broken leg, defensive lineman for Eastern Illinois. It's second down and 7 with 3.5 to go in the first half. The handoff goes to the fullback. Touchdown, Dwight Dumas, the junior from Cincinnati. Again, in standing up, and there are some Youngstown folks here from northeastern Ohio. That is the third touchdown of the season for the junior 6'1", 200-pound fullback. And Youngstown has assumed a 4-point lead, and they will go for the 1 and not try the 2. Ferrati will hold, and Chuck Gainelli will try and kick it. Missed one earlier, but he gets this one. So for the first time in the game, on another turnover, Youngstown has assumed command. They have a 19-14 lead with 3:28 to go. 23-yard on the touchdown drive, 5 plays, and it took only 2 minutes. Here's Chuck Gainelli kicking off. Mark Campana at the 2. Oh, what a downfield wedge breaker there was. Man, oh man. And let's take a look at the touchdown romp of Dwight Dumas once again, Ben Martin.
Dwight Dumas, a super job. The line spacing is giving them the advantage. He just ripped through. There's a self-made hole there, and he spins into the end zone. That's a lost art for a lot of ball carriers, but he does it very naturally for the go-ahead 6-pointer.
That was Kevin Jones, who had a chance to stop him at the 1, but could not. 19-14, Youngstown leads with 3:21 to go first half. I set. And all 3 touchdowns for Youngstown have come on turnovers this afternoon. Nope, incomplete. McGee leaning out for it. Good not, or it's James Waring rather, number 95 instead of 25, Scott McGee. So we'll have a second down and 10. Turk is now 5 out of 10 for 87 yards and has been intercepted twice. And James Waring has caught 3 of them. And the clock is stopped on the incomplete pass with 3:17 to go in the first half of play. I had to admire the spunk of this student body here. The gates opened at 9:30 this morning. They were lined up ready to come in. And we're singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm to keep yourselves warm here. Here's Turk with a screen pass, incomplete, intended for Jeff Forster. And it'll be third down 10. Sam Barbera was pressuring on the play. Barbera, the co-captain, senior. By the way, Greg Laterra, offensive lineman for Youngstown, injured and hospitalized back in Youngstown, and the coaching staff and the administration of Youngstown wanted us to pass along best wishes to him. We know he's watching the game, and trust that right now he's got a smile on his face.
Sure is. He's sorely missed, and of course, coming up at the end of the season, he's missed a chance of being part of this fun.
It's third down and 10. Both backs split. See if they stay in or go out. They stay in to give Turk protection, and he's going deep for McGee. And it's incomplete at the 45-yard line of Youngstown. Flag is down.
Offensive pass interference, Vern.
Yep, sure will. Scott. There's the discussion, and here's Scott McGee in isolation.
Scott McGee, number 25, he's the smaller of the 2 wide-out receivers. He's running a deep fly pattern. He comes back in. The ball brings him back in there. And you know, Vern, that's inadvertent tripping, and normally you don't see that called because he wasn't trying to interfere. He just stumbled. They got their feet crossed up, and normally the judgment on that is that that's not interference.
Matter of fact, we saw that last night in the Texas A&M game and had some discussions about it.
Right. And I've heard many discussions about that, but when you get your feet tangled up, that's just one of those things like the rub of the green in golf.
Winston-Salem trailing Delaware 17-0 still. Second quarter. Winner of that game beats the winner of this one. Offensive pass interference. So it'll be fourth down. That is also a loss of down in college football, right, not in the pros.
That's a very heavy penalty.
Georgia Tech leading Georgia 20-0. Bears got to be smiling about that one.
Here they come. Here they come.
All right, they have blocked one today. Chris Larson or Scott McGee. Who is it? It's Scott McGee back to kick. And they don't get him, but the kick is fairly short. And it does get an Eastern roll back toward midfield, and will stop at the 49-yard line with 2:56 to go in the half. Field position so vitally important, and Youngstown has had tremendous field position today.
They've had the advantage all the time. They've never had to be really backed up except one time, and most of the time they have less than half the field to go to get into scoring position. That really pays off in the long run.
Well, their drives for touchdowns have come from 35, 34, and 23, and they've got the ball at the 49 right now. First down 10 with 2:55 to go first half, 14-19. Youngstown, the team in white, owns the scoreboard. Snoddy will throw. Looks deep for Ferrati, and Ferrati can't hang on. It's incomplete. The coverage down there by Glenn Thomas, junior quarterback from Detroit. And there's Jim Ferrati, 5'9", 155, a junior from Boardman, Ohio, with 42 catches for the season. Pretty good pass defense.
Yeah, well, he made a good move. He faked at the post and then bent it out into a straight fly pattern, but that young Glenn Thomas didn't go for the fake. He's just guarding that goal line.
Offensive huddle of Youngstown. Tom Farina, number 70, breaks and goes to the left tackle spot. Keith Snoddy, the quarterback. Marshall Brumfield and Dwight Dumas in the I formation. Snoddy, draw play again. Brumfield works to the outside, tries to shake a tackle and does. He's got a first down and is spilled at the 36-yard line. Bill Moore made the tackle. A nice run by Marshall Brumfield after it appeared he was been caught.
They're really relying on this young man, number 22, Marshall Brumfield. He has a lot of good moves. He's running a straight draw, trying to find daylight inside, but now his natural instincts tell him, man, let's go outside and away from all those blue shirts. Pete Caton's after him all the way from the other side, but he has great speed, turns the corner and makes a crucial first down.
For the day, 55 yards, 9 carries, 1 touchdown. Snoddy, draw play again to Brumfield, and he's loose again. Don Pittman up over the shoulders, number 12, to make the tackle, but he still picked up another 7 yards.
Hey, Bill Narduzzi's taking a page out of Darrell Mudra's book now. As the play goes, same play the other way. Here he comes.
That often is a great coaching technique, isn't it? It works so well sometimes.
Yes, it does. I think especially against a team that stunts a little bit, you repeat the play and you're going to come up with a gainer.
Second down, 2. Gain of 8 last play. 2:26 to go. First half, 19-14, Youngstown leads. I formation again. Why not? It's worked so far. First down inside the 25 to the 24 or 3-yard line. And the clock stops on the first down 10 in college ball. They'll move the chains and start it again. Marshall Brumfield, and there's Darrell Mudra. You see him with the headset on in that middle window. Very calm and observant of what's going on downstairs.
But what he's thinking is don't let him score again this close to halftime. Psychologically, that's really a bad scene.
First down 10, Youngstown at the 24-yard line. This time it's the fullback Dumas down to the 21. Tackle is made by Ray Jeske, number 31, Sam Carson, number 65. And there's Dwight Dumas, number 49, getting up. And Steve Parker, number 79, 6'4", junior from Evanston, Illinois, was the last man off the pile. Don Pittman looking over at the sideline again. And they're going to go quickly now with his second down play. It's second down and 7. Barati out of your vision, wide to the left. That's the bottom of your screen. Blitz look for Eastern Illinois defensively. They're coming. The handoff in close. Goes to the fullback, and he is 2 yards short of the first down at the 16-yard line. Ray Jeske and Kevin Jones make the tackle on Dwight Dumas.
Hey, I tell you what, Keith Snoddy called a timeout then, and actually he didn't mean to. He tried to take it back again, but the official would not let him take it back. Dwight Dumas, what a player. He's great on those short yards. He runs that outside veer play to perfection. 9 rushes for 41 yards, and he's also made a touchdown.
Timeout has been called on the field now by Youngstown. They have killed the clock with 1:32 remaining. And Don Pittman comes over to talk with the defensive coordinator. Special edition of NFL Monday Night Football tomorrow on Sunday night. Live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central. Boy, this is going to be a great ball game. The Denver Broncos against the Oakland Raiders, a battle for first place in the AFC Western Division. Both teams with 8 and 5 records. Denver and Oakland tomorrow night. And then on Monday night, the regular edition of NFL Monday Night Football, live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The Chicago Bears against the San Diego Chargers. You'll have a chance to watch 2 of the outstanding running backs in the NFL, Chicago's Walter Payton and San Diego's Lydell Mitchell. And that is Monday night with Frank Howard and Dandy Dawn. And coming up at halftime, a Fireman's Fund flashback, a special Fireman's Fund flashback with a report from Bill Fleming on the progress of the Alabama-Auburn game that has just begun down in Alabama this afternoon. That's coming up at halftime along with the Eastern Illinois University Marching Band. 92 seconds to go, first half. It's third down and 1 at the 16. Pitch out, Brumfield, first down at the 15. Well, no, wait, he may be short. I called that a little early. Looked like he had it, but Don Pittman came up to make the tackle. And I don't believe he got it.
This is a base play, the veer option, the pitch back this time to Brumfield, who's been their bread and butter man. It's a great driving tackle. The defense is really fired up out there.
It will indeed be 4th down at the 15. And here comes Youngstown, 4th and about a foot with 1:13 to go. Quarterback sneak, flag is down.
They weren't set.
They have to be set for 1 full second. Apparently they were not. Motion, Youngstown.
What a big play. They were really anxious, Vern, to get that first down, and the quarterback, Keith Snoddy, it was going to go on the first sound, and everybody anticipated he must have stuttered just a little bit, and they got the very, very tough penalty. That's really a bummer for Youngstown, but a new life for Eastern.
So Chuck Hainelli comes on now on 4th down and will try the field goal for the year. He is 12 out of 19. And he will try and extend this lead to 22-14. And Allen will kick it from the 27-yard line. A 37-yard effort from the far hash mark to the left-footed kicker. Got legs. And it is no good. Wide left. Hainelli unsuccessful from 37 yards out. And Eastern Illinois gets the ball back with 1:05 remaining. 19-14. Youngstown has come from behind. And the winner of this game meets the winner of Delaware Winston-Salem for the NCAA Division II Championship in Longview, Texas. 1 week from today, and that game will be televised by ABC. First down 10. Eastern Illinois. Scott McGee, wide right. Waring, wide left. Handoff, Pope Cobb. Coming left with Tony Scala in front. He gets out to the 27-yard line. 58 seconds to go on the clock running. They have timeouts remaining. They will not take one now. They'll go with a quick huddle. 48 seconds and the clock running. Turk looks over at the sideline. Steve Turk, the junior quarterback. They wigwag the plays in from the bench. 37 seconds to go. High formation. Hand off to the fullback. Big hole. Here's Jeff Forster. First down at the 45. Now they will call time. 27 seconds remaining. The clock stops automatically on the first down. And Eastern uses one of their timeouts. Kevin Statzer made the tackle to save a bundle. Well, you've got those two great wide receivers. Got a shot at it.
They certainly do. In a situation like that, they might, with timeouts left, be able to throw two passes, at least get in the field goal position, and they be kicking with the wind. They don't have to get quite as close. So it's kind of uptight time. A lot of action in the closing minute or two here at the halftime. These teams are very explosive. I'm really delighted to be a part of this contest.
I'll tell you, we've had a good football game first half.
Really have.
Steve Turk on the sideline. Last time they played, he passed for 359 yards, his season high.
Boy, you can get your arm in a sling throwing at that offense. He also threw 6 of them to the other fellas, though, and he'd like to avoid that situation. You know, both coaching staffs are extremely well prepared for this contest. There's Bill Narduzzi. He has a great background, as does Darrell Mudra, and they're really prepared. They do one thing, the other team shuts them off, and come right back with another tactical ploy.
First down 10 with 27 seconds to go first half. 19-14, Youngstown leads. Bill Lundquist along with Ben Martin in drizzly Charleston, Illinois. Looks for Waring, has Waring. Waring gets out of bounds at the 49 and kills the clock with 23 seconds to go.
This is James Waring on a quick sideline turnout. As a sideline play, you can't even see the sideline. It's obliterated there because that's where all the troops have been stomping around. But that's a good quickie, and it stops the clock also.
There's what Waring did the last time the two teams met. 11 for 149 yards and a touchdown. 6'4", 190-pound junior from Miami, Florida. For the afternoon now has caught 4 passes for 43 yards. It's second down and 3 with 23 seconds to go. No blitz. Across the middle, it's caught by Scott McGee. First down at the 44.
Well, that's Waring again, I think.
Waring, you're right. His 5th catch. First down. And they move the chain, 17 seconds remaining. Eastern has called its second timeout. They've got one left.
Vern, that's the first time they've used in crossing pattern that time. They sent James Waring underneath the linebackers because everybody's playing the sideline route, and it was well executed. They got their first down with the timeout left. They were in pretty good shape.
17 seconds to go. They have the ball 44 yards away. Steve Turk has concluded the conversation, and that man in the middle, Darryl Mudra, has been on the headset with his assistant coaches down on the sideline. They have relayed the options and have made their selection. Total offense this season, 2,367 yards, and he is the career leader at Eastern Illinois. That is a single season record, and was the third string quarterback when they started out back in August.
Very high in the national scene, too. This young man ranked in the top 5 in total offense, and a very far up there as a passer in his first year in college.
He scared me to death with that chaw of tobacco in his mouth yesterday. I said, you really don't use that in the game. He said, no, I ain't that foolish. First and 10. Turk back to throw. It's caught. And it's completed to 41, but that time is spilling off now. And the final timeout has been called by Eastern Illinois with 10 seconds remaining in the first half. And we'll look at it again.
This is the same thing we're talking about with Darryl Mudra. Same play the other way. He has James Waring set to the left in this pro set, and he comes underneath on the crossing pattern. He gets tripped up a little bit, but he makes a fine diving catch. This young man is a premier pass catcher. James Waring makes good yardage, but he had hoped to break that one to get out of bounds.
It's second down, but that is really kind of irrelevant now. 14 touchdown this season. Another Eastern Illinois record. And the drizzle continues to fall. I'm almost of a mind that it would turn to snow here pretty quick. I think it'd be nicer. Be prettier. We're right on the freezing edge. It's about 33 degrees. And Steve Turk, once again, has concluded the conversation on the sideline. Goes back in. 10 seconds to go, first half. 19-14. Eastern had a 14-6 lead, but turnovers have cost them a blocked punt and another pass interception. And they're trying to go back in front now before the halftime break. Coming up this afternoon after our ball game and the Prudential College scoreboard, of course, Army-Navy. Great classic battle. Second down. Waring right side, McGee left. They fake the draw. And he's going deep for Scott McGee. There's a bump, and there is no flag thrown. Intercepted, picked off. Tom Jarris, number 78, his third interception of the year. No flag.
They're both going through the ball, Pete. That was a real clean football play. Great defensive move.
That is the third interception off Steve Turk in the first half. The one thing he did not want, he is getting. And so Youngstown puts the plug in that drive with 4 seconds to go first half. And they will more than likely just run out the clock. Having said that, watch him go for it all.
Oh, yeah!
It's an interception. Wilbur James, the second of the game. James going left and is down, and that's it. Shows you how smart I am. There's also a flag down. There is a flag on the play. There's a flag at the 39-yard line.
If it's against the defense, maybe after possession, then it would be the period ender. But if not, they'd have another flag.
And we'll get the interpretation here in a second.
It's after the possession.
Let's go. It's all over. Let's go. Okay. He's Billy also. Okay. That's the end of the first half of play. With our score, 19-14. And we'll be back after a word about an upcoming show on ABC with our score, 19-14, and a word from our local station. Down on the field, a fine marching band from Eastern Illinois University. They are under the direction of Harold Hilliard. entertained us all with a 15-minute pregame show, and they are getting set now with the first number of their halftime show. We'll return to get more of the halftime band presentation, but in the meantime, today's Fireman's Fund Flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance, and Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. Alabama playing Auburn. Let's go to New York for an update from Dave Niles.
The picture you see is live. It's coming from Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, where in just a few short moments, Auburn takes on second-ranked Alabama in a game that will decide whether Alabama or Georgia wins the Southeastern Conference Championship and goes on to play #1 ranked Penn State in the Sugar Bowl. This is
down on the field, the Eastern Illinois Marching Band continues their presentation after that enlightening conversation with the Bear. He's got the most distinctive voice in America, I think, Ben. And down on the field, they have just concluded the Grandioso March and are now into Hey, Look Me Over. Professor Harold Hillier and the Eastern Illinois University Marching Band. Let's have a listen. And now this is my country. Marching Band, EIU, is located here in Charleston. Let's take a look at the campus of Eastern Illinois.
Founded in 1895, Eastern Illinois University is a residential institution located among the rural cities and towns of central Illinois. Although the university offers 90-degree programs at the undergraduate and graduate levels, the primary mission of the institution is to provide high-quality, personalized undergraduate instruction. The College of Arts and Sciences is the largest of its 7 schools and colleges. Most of the university's 9,500 students are from Illinois, with all the state's 102 counties represented. Only 5 presidents have guided the university since its first students enrolled before the turn of the century, providing stability and continuity of purpose. At Eastern, a major concern has been to blend a strong academic curriculum with a well-balanced program of athletics. Eastern's athletic teams consistently have been among the major contenders for national honors in NCAA Division II competition. And today, the university soccer team is competing for the national title in Miami, Florida, while the football team is in contention for the Division II football championship at Charleston.
Well, look at the Eastern Illinois University campus, and they are just concluding their rendition of March of the Centurions. Let's have a listen. That's March of the Centurions by the EIU Band. Now they'll do a number from Johnny Mercer, one of the great songs of American contemporary songwriting, Moon River. Henry Mancini and Johnny Mercer, and this will feature the Twirlers. 1978 featured Twirlers, Janine Mitchell, Maria Arnold, Kimi Khoury, Sandy Bonikas, and Sherry Snyder. And there's one of the young ladies on the field right now. Moon River, Johnny Mercer, and Henry Mancini. EIU Band and Moon River. And now they will move into a rendition of the American Bandstand theme, Bandstand Boogie. And the 1978 edition of the Pink Panthers, co-captained by Vicky Acarius and Sue Wheatley, and they will do a dance number to Bandstand Boogie. Dancing in the rain here on a Saturday afternoon in December in Charleston, Illinois. Bandstand Boogie and the EIU Band. There's the 1978 edition of the girls drill team, women's drill team here at Eastern Illinois University. The Pink Panthers, Vicky Acarius and Sue Wheatley, the captains, and their rendition of a dance to the tune of Bandstand Boogie. And Eastern Illinois will move into formation now for the singing of Eastern Loyalty, the school's alma mater. Well, we've got a Division II semifinal game going on here, Ben Martin. The winner of this one goes up against either Delaware or Winston-Salem for the championship a week from now. Interesting bowl prospects. I suppose the highlight would be the Sugar Bowl with Penn State and either Alabama or Georgia.
A great deal of interest all across the nation, Vern, with that one, because for the first time ever, Penn State under Joe Paterno has an opportunity to be the national champions without a playoff, which Division II does. But and of course, the whole eastern part of the United States is very excited about that because they felt they've been a stepson along the way in the rankings, and now they have a chance to prove it on the field if they go against Bear Bryant's team. Bear's been a national champion, the coach of the year so many times, but his teams are always ready to fly, really go after that national championship.
One of the cheerleaders standing in the rain down on the sideline for Eastern Illinois. And we're just about set for the second half kickoff, but prior to that, let's have a message from the National Collegiate Athletic Association. NCAA college football, Youngstown State at Eastern Illinois, is being brought to you by the folks at Chevrolet, who invite you to come on into your Chevy dealers coast to coast for a look at an all-star lineup of cars. By Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. And by Texaco, who also brings you quality automotive products you can trust. A gray, rainy, raw, overcast day, but a heck of a football game going on. 1914, Youngstown leads at halftime. 1914 ball game, Youngstown State leads Eastern Illinois University. And some thoughts about halftime statistics, Ben Martin?
Well, I think they're pretty much as we expected because they're pretty even in first downs, and Youngstown has gotten theirs on the ground, and Eastern Illinois has gotten theirs through the air. The turnovers, that's really hurt Eastern because they turned the ball over in minus territory. And one thing that's not indicated up there is the 90 yards that we had on the kickoff return, and that that really is plus yardage. So we have a very tight football game here, going pretty much the way that we anticipated, Vern.
I really, quite frankly, am surprised at the wide difference in time of possession. 18 minutes and 9 seconds to just 12 for...
Well, I think that comes from running the ball on the ground. The clock keeps running, and I think that's what Phil Narduzzi would like to do because he knows that Eastern has such explosiveness. He'd like to keep the ball and then work for the turnover, which has happened. And so he's had great field position, and they've got that lead, 19-14.
There's Bill Narduzzi on the sideline, 4th year at Youngstown. 26-14. They got the lead on a Dwight Dumas touchdown. They were down 7-0, 12 seconds into the game. And here is that touchdown that put them in front by Dwight Dumas.
Out of the power I, the give from Dwight Snoddy to Dumas, and he spins into the end zone. That's great effort. He wants to get into that end zone. It means so much to a football player who has that football to get in. That's a go-ahead guy there, right there. He's the man.
That touchdown followed a pass interception by Tom Harder on the 23-yard line. At the time, the score stood 14-12, but Dumas got the TD, the extra point good, 19-14. Hainali later missed on a 37-yard field goal that could have made the margin 22-14. And now the options being discussed for the second half. Youngstown, dressed in white, will receive at the southern end of O'Brien Field. And the wind is not north-south today, it's east.
Right at us.
Yes. I've got windshield wipers on my goggles working here at full speed. Vern Lundquist along with Ben Martin, we're glad to have you with us. And down in the truck, a couple of guys from Colgate who are still pleased by their victory over Rutgers. Doug Wilson, our producer, and Joe Assetti, our director. And Jim McKay's daughter, Mary, just got married to Chuck Fontelou. And we want to pass along congratulations to them. They just got married today, as a matter of fact.
That's a big day for Jimmy.
Mr. McKay is going south to Sao Paulo, Brazil to do the World Gymnastics Championship, and Doug Wilson is going with him down there Tuesday.
I think they both understand that it's summertime down there.
It's the Gymnastic World Cup. Whatever it is, it's worth the trip, I'll tell you that. Even that 9.5-hour plane ride from New York to Rio de Janeiro. But we're glad all of you could join us today, and we've got a heck of a football game going. A lot of fun, Division II football. I know Ben and I have done a couple of Division I AA games, Division II, and you go to these schools and find the quality of football is just great, and the kids appreciate the opportunity to play so much. It's really a fun thing to see.
The atmosphere is completely different around a game like this. All the players, the students are sharing this experience, and then be on television with the opportunity to become a national champion in their division is a fantastic challenge.
That was Robbie Robson, number 26, deep to receive it along with Marshall Brumfield. And here is Dan DiMartino, who will kick off from the 40-yard line. As we get set for the second 30 minutes. Glad you could join us. Here comes Dan DiMartino, 19-14 game. It'll be Robbie Robson at the 11. Fumbles, kicks it, picks it up. Goodbye. Not quite. Yes, now good night. All the way back to the 13-yard line.
Hey, Vern, you don't see that too often. All 11 blue shirts, I mean all 11 on the guy with the ball.
Defensive line backers for Eastern Illinois. Here's Ray Jeske, a junior, number 31. Alonzo Lee, the middle linebacker, a junior from Washington, D.C. And number 46, Ira Jefferson from Momence, Illinois. Those are the linebackers of Eastern Illinois. First down 10, Youngstown at their own 14. And they do not enjoy good field position to start the second half. Hand off the fullback. Dwight Dumas sliding between the crack of his tight end and right offensive tackle. Alonzo Lee made the stop, number 51. The Eastern Illinois defensive backfield has a look about it like this. Glenn Thomas, number 22 from Detroit. Rich Brown, sophomore from Akron, Ohio. Bill Moore, the strong safety from Charleston, Illinois, playing in his hometown. And Kevin Jones, a freshman from Springfield. It is second down 6. Snoddy gives it off to the fullback again, picked up 1 or 2 across the 15 to the 20 to the 21-yard line, and we'll have a third down and 3. Pete Caton made the stop, number 83, the sledgehammer. I don't know whether that was his nickname before today, but it darn sure is now.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, it may look like the same play all the time. They run that little veer play to the fullback, but they block it off about 4 different ways, and it's been very effective for him. It keeps the defense guessing.
Third down and 3. Eastern Illinois dressed in blue and white. Youngstown dressed in white and mud. 19-14 ball game. Third down and 3. Snoddy on the roll. He'll put it up, and it's caught by Ferrantini. He did not get back down inbounds, but what a fine effort. Little ballet-like step. Looked like Michael Baryshnikov on the sideline, but it didn't work. So Eastern will be forced into a punting situation. Here's the defensive line for Eastern. Sam Carson from Waywood, Illinois. Tom Seward, who is out of there now, has been taken to the hospital with a possible broken leg. Randy Melvin from Aurora, Illinois. And Pete Caton, who's been a horse for them, from Penfield, New York. The sledgehammer you just barely saw in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Here's Hanelli back to kick, or Mark Campana will return. No, it's short, and a fair catch taken by Don Pittman at the 48-yard line, and Eastern Illinois has good field position on their first possession of the third quarter. They've got it 52 yards away, and they trail by 5. 13:29 to go third quarter. Steve Turk comes on into the huddle. He'll have Jeff Forster and Poe Cobb behind him. The wide receivers, James Waring and Scott McGee. And here come the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. First down, 10 at the 48. Both wide receivers left side. Play action. Turk wants a bunch, going deep for Waring. Good coverage down there. Kevin Statzer picks it off at the 15. That is Statzer's 8th interception of 1978. It is the 4th interception this afternoon off the arm of Steve Turk.
And this is the kind of thing you do on first down if you're a pass offense-oriented team. The ball is just underthrown a little bit, and that's because of the condition that we're playing in. It's underthrown. Waring had his man beaten deep, but great play on defenses. They're very alert to the wide receivers.
Well, they had 23 pass interceptions coming in. They had 6 against Eastern Illinois the last time they met, and they've gotten 4 this afternoon. First down, 10. High set in the backfield. The handoff to Dumas, the fullback. Big horse goes left side out to about the 18-yard line. Alonzo Lee made the tackle. Number 49, Dwight Dumas from Cincinnati, a junior. 1 touchdown this afternoon. And he has rushed for 48 yards on 12 carries, 4 yards a pop. Got 4 on the last carry. Equaled his average. It's second down, 6 at the 20. Snoddy to Brumfield, and he's across the 20 to the 22. It'll be third down at 3. Steve Parker, who is in there in place of Tom Seward, made the stop. Number 79. See him down around the ankles of the official.
I think an interesting adjustment which Darrell Mudra and his defenders have made at halftime. They've moved their linebackers from head up on the tackle to outside because they're not big enough to sustain that forward thrust, and now they have their defensive ends playing inside to make it a little more difficult for them to run that base veer play.
Once again, there's a look at Darrell Mudra in the middle window up in the press box, second level. It's third down, 2. Youngstown has the ball at their own 23 with a 5-point lead early third quarter. Blitz look. He stepped offside.
They gave him the long count.
Alonzo Lee came across and made contact, and I do not believe he was drawn off.
They had the blitz coming. They were going to send about 9 fellas that time. That's a 3-handkerchief penalty right there. Get a little muddy when you put it back in your hip pocket. Well, he'd have recovered except for the condition of the turf. He was just going to tease the center into being a little nervous, and he couldn't get his feet under it.
Illegal procedure, and we'll look at it again as Alonzo Lee came in that gap.
Yeah, he was going to blitz, and you tell a linebacker you're about to blitz. I mean, he really has a quick trigger.
That's a definite oops play. Whoops. First down, 10. High set in the backfield. Dumas, the fullback, breaks loose, comes left, gets by Rich Brown, knocked down at the 35-yard line. He rumbled for about 8 yards on that carry. Ray Chesky made the tackle. He's been changing jerseys, folks. That's why that thing is so clean.
You know, that's another thing that goes into tactical football. He came in there. Look at this, Delaware, the Blue Hens ahead of the Rams. Winston-Salem. Looks like Delaware might be in the finals.
And they will play the winner of this game at Georgia Tech leads Georgia 20-7 third quarter. It's second down 2 with 11:26 to go. Third quarter at the 35-yard line. Marshall Brumfield does a nice little dance in the middle of that backfield and picks up a first down at the 40-yard line. Number 46, Ira Jefferson. There's Bill Narduzzi on the sideline. Wittenberg trailing Baldwin Wallace 10-3 at halftime. That is the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, the Division III championship being played in Phoenix City, Alabama. And the Razorbacks leading Texas Tech 21-0 in the first quarter down in the Southwest Conference. Arkansas, after those 2 midseason defeats, has really come on strong. Here's the pitch out to Brumfield on the power pitch right side. Looks for a block from Dumas. Gets it, but a good defensive play is made by Kevin Jones, the freshman safety from Springfield, Illinois, number 42. It'll be second down. Turnovers have haunted Eastern Illinois this afternoon after they spurted to a quick 7-0 lead. Each of the 3 touchdowns from Youngstown came from inside 35 yards, the drives, that is. And we've got 10:37 to go. Semifinal Division II Army-Navy coming up at the conclusion of our game following the Prudential College scoreboard. It's second down 7. Ball in the 43-yard line. Youngstown in control. Here's the handoff to Brumfield, left side, couple of yards across the 45 to the 46. And down low is Don Pittman, the sophomore from Fort Mill, South Carolina. And there's Marshall Brumfield, who scored the first touchdown today for Youngstown State.
Illinois has made Eastern has made the change that's indicated. They've gone from a college 4-3 to a basic 6-1 against this inside running game. It's being much more effective. It looks like they've made a real positive thing. And here we go. Georgia's back in that ball game.
Well, they've got hope of going to the Sugar Bowl if they can win that, and Auburn upsets Alabama. It's third down and 3. And Snoddy draw play. Brumfield, he's loose. Down the sidelines and finally knocked out of bounds near the 37-yard line. First down, 10 Youngstown. Glenn Thomas got him out of bounds, but that youngster is closing in on a 100-yard afternoon.
Marshall Brumfield, he's doing it all. He's a workhorse along with Dumas. This is a straight drop-back draw. There's no lead to it. He just finds the crack. It's a good, safe call, especially when you have a hot ball carrier, as Marshall Brumfield is today.
He's a yard shy of a 100-yard afternoon. He came in today with 750 yards for the season and a 5.4 average, and there are the totals for this afternoon. It's first down 10 at the 47. Dwight Dumas, the fullback, 4 yards to the 31. Boy, they're just wearing them to death.
They really are. They've got a solid game plan. Their linemen believe in what they're doing. They like this. They want to play smash football on a wet field. That's fun for the linemen.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really think that's fun for a lineman. I was a back myself, but that's fun for a lineman.
You describe that, what's going on down there, as fun? All right, second down, 6. Heath Snoddy has him in the eye again. Double tight end offense. Here's the fullback, Dwight Dumas, first down at the 25. They have not passed on this drive. Ed McGlasson opened the hole. Let's set that offensive line, those guys who are having such a joyous time down there in the pit. Tight end 87, Emmett King, Tom Farina, Ralph Orsini, Ed McGlasson, number 53, Tom Clifford, 75, Jeff Lear, 72, and Tom Viola, the other tight end, number 89. And there's the defensive unit for Eastern Illinois. They've been on that field for a long, long time here in the third quarter, all save one play. And we've got 8:48 to go in the third quarter. Blitz is on. Here's Dumas. They get by him. Dumas goes left, and he's down to the 22. Alonzo Lee made the tackle. Pete Caton, number 83, also in the area. That'll set up a second down and 7.
The offensive linemen, when I'm talking about them having fun, they really do enjoy this. But the other thing that comes in there is that when they're moving the ball inside and they're maintaining possession and they're scoring because of it, after the game is over, the offensive linemen are going to get an awful lot of credit because they are controlling the line of scrimmage.
And that's fun when you get the credit. It's second down, 7. High set once again. Ferrati is wide right. Here's Snoddy still on the keeper. Cuts upfield and is knocked down by Don Pittman, number 12, with Kevin Jones down low, number 42. It will be another third down, and they have done a good job on third down conversions in this current drive. They are 5 out of 8 for the day.
You know, Pete Cathan was all the way across from his right defensive end position to make that play. It was going around the other side.
Here's Delaware, very much in command against Winston-Salem now. They're playing that game in Newark, Delaware. The Blue Hens over the Rams.
The old friend Tubby Raymond's going to be doing it.
Third down and 3. Inside the 20 with a 19-14 lead. Snoddy with a draw play. They've run it 5 or 6 times, and again, it works for the first down. He's out of bounds inside the 14-yard line. 3 or 4 opportunities to make the tackle. They could not contain him on the draw.
Well, Marshall Brumfield, he's really having himself a day, and this slippery field is not bothering him. He has that style of running where he has all his cleats on the ground at one time, and he's not losing any traction at all out there, Fern.
Another first down 10, another third down conversion. The drive is sustained at the 14-yard line. 19-14, Youngstown leads. There has been the workhorse, number 22, Marshall Brumfield. 1:06 for the day now. Blitz is coming. The handoff to Dumas, the fullback. And the door closed rather quickly that time. Alonzo Lee had his hand on the doorknob and then put his arms around Mr. Dwight Dumas. It'll be second down and 9.
Yeah, well, what Easter's doing when they get close to goal line, they're really defending 10 against 10 in tight in a bunch, and then they just have one fella out on the wide out. So it really is bunched up in there, and let's see if they do something about that to try to take advantage of the fact they're all bunched into the middle.
Marshall Brumfield, 1:06 on 18 carries. Second down, 9. Brumfield again. Look at him skip in that offensive backfield. There is a flag thrown on the play. It came from the umpire.
You know what that usually means.
Holding, right?
Right.
And we'll see. That's the indication. It'll go against Youngstown. And there's also a player down. Nope, now he's getting up. That's Dwight Dumas, the fullback. And we'll step off 15. This drive began all the way back at the 14-yard line, following the pass interception by Kevin Statzer, and every inch of the drive has come on the ground.
That's the way to go. Actually, that's their modus operandi at Youngstown. And then on a field like this, it's indicated that you should do it. So they've got both things going, a wet field, which is in their advantage, and the fact that they can run inside with authority. But that 15-yard, it really hurts them now. It'll be tough to recover from that.
3 penalties for 25 yards. We have played 7 minutes and 25 seconds of the second half, and Eastern Illinois has had the ball for 1 play. Here's Snoddy to throw. Looks for Randy, I believe, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's a great defensive play. Over the top, going for the ball.
That was Randy Beal who had come in the lineup, number 42.
You can tell he's got the clean shirt on. A drop back pass. Looks him off. He's going to throw back curl pattern. If he had not slipped down, this would have been pass interference. But he slips down, and the guy goes over the top. Does not have to go through the receiver to get the knockdown. So we have an excellent play by the defensive backs.
Third down and 21. 2 wide receivers now for the first time in the game for Youngstown. Moretti and Beal are both in. Snoddy back to throw.
Oh,
across the middle, man open, it bounced once. That was a one-hopper to Randy Beal. He's a sophomore from Warren, Ohio, has caught 18 this year. 5'11", 170. And it'll be fourth down. Now we'll see Chuck Penelli will try his second field goal of the day. He was unsuccessful from 37 earlier in the first half. Number 23, 12 out of 20 for the season now. And this will be a fairly sizable kick of 42 yards out of the muck and mire at the 32-yard line. Got it up, maybe wide right. It's good! Oh! Made it by about a foot. So with 6:21, the drive is culminated by a 42-yard field goal from Chuck Penelli.
Take any...
There's the youngster who just authored that 42-yard field goal to extend the lead to 8 points. 22-14, Chuck Penelli will kick off. And he'll kick it deep to Mark Campana at the 3. Open the game with a 90-yard kickoff return. Watch him look for the wall. Still going. Downfield block, still on his feet. Campana does it again. All the way out to the 45-yard line. Mark Campana, number 24. a junior from Kent, Ohio. And we will look at it one more time.
Well, Vern, as you recall, when we visited with Coach Darrell Mudra, he said the big improvement in his football squad has been in the special teams area. And certainly Mark Campana is a big addition to that, is instead of the center return, they go left, they get the wedge going left, and this young man can really find a daylight. He's an exceptional kick returner and gets him in excellent field position.
Here's Pope Cobb coming right. He hasn't had much luck today and doesn't on that play. Knocked down after a gain of 1 by Tom Jarrett, number 28. The defensive line for Youngstown, Tom Harder, Marvin Sperlazza. And Tom Dittler, the nose guard from Suffield, Ohio. Mark Setwick, right tackle from Ashtabula, Ohio. And Quentin Lowry, senior from Shaker Heights, Ohio. It's second down 9. Pope Cobb has 9 yards on 7 carries. High formation once again. The pitch out, Pope Cobb. The reverse to Scott McGee. Looks for the wall, has one man to beat. He can't get him. Quentin Lowry stayed at home and diagnosed the play and made the tackle for a loss.
They used to have an idea for a defensive end. When it's going away, it's coming back.
Here are the linebackers. They've been busy today. Bob Lombardi and Greg Fitzpatrick. And there's Steve Turk. Well, they tried the gadget play and it didn't work, as Quentin Lowry did a tremendous job of reading
it.
He
really did.
play.
He stayed at home. He's responsible for counters and reverses, and he was right there.
Third down 10. 4:56 to go, third quarter. Turk will no doubt go the aerial route. No, he won't. Fooled me again. Here's Scott McGee with a wingback reverse, and he is short of the first down at the 48-yard line.
That's Darrell Mudra in action again. I'll tell you, they ran a deep reverse first, and then he came back with the inside reverse.
Defensive backs for Youngstown. Pat Dorina with 7 interceptions for the year. Tom Jarris has 1 this afternoon. Kevin Stanzer has 8 for the year, including 1 today. And T.C. Reynolds, junior monster back from Cincinnati, Ohio. And there you have the defense for Youngstown. On 4th down, Scott McGee is back to punt. And Jim Ferranti, number 82, the wide receiver, waits for it at the 18-yard line.
They got the return set up this time, Keith.
Here's the kick, high and very short. It will bounce near the 30, gets a Eastern roll back to the 20-yard line, and will limp to a rest at that spot. 3 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. 22-14. Youngstown has the lead and the ball. There's a guy who ought to draw a hazardous duty paid this afternoon, our end zone cameraman, Don Farnham. It's kind of chilly up on that lift. The handoff goes to Dumas after the 24-yard line. Alonzo Lee makes the tackle. Little raw and wet here in Charleston, Illinois on Saturday in December. There's Dwight Dumas. Been changing that jersey periodically. That's why it's still fresh and clean. Picked up 4 on that carry. Second down and 6. Boy, it's been a battering ram offense for Youngstown.
It really has. They're doing their thing.
Went 86 on the last time they had the ball for a field goal. It's second down 6 at the 24. Keith Snoddy has gone the distance at quarterback. Hands it off to Marshall Brumfield. It'll be third down 2 as Brumfield picks up 3. Georgia, oh, look at this, Ben.
Oh, we got a ball game.
28-21, and Georgia Tech had a 20-0 lead at one point. Georgia really coming back strong now, trying to stay alive in that chase for the Super Bowl host spot.
Yeah, 2 great coaches, Pepper Rogers of Tech and Vince Dooley of Georgia.
Alabama on top of Auburn first quarter. If Bama wins, they go to New Orleans, regardless of what Georgia does. Third down and 2. Youngstown is 6 out of 9 on third down conversions. Almost a 10-man front. They drew him offside again. Tom Pettigrew, number 84, but this time he was drawn offside. 5 yards against Youngstown.
They've really been varying the snap counts and cadence. Dwight Snoddy's been doing a super job of that, going on a long count, the first sound, and in between. That time he had his own people a little confused. That very well might be a tremendous opportunity now for Eastern Illinois if they can make them punt from deep in their own territory. A little bit against the wind, too.
Bill Narduzzi on the far side. Assistant coach at Pittsburgh, Brown, Yale, and Miami. First head coaching job right where he is now, Youngstown State. It's third down 7, and Snoddy will throw. He's being chased. Caton is there. The pass is out and intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Jones, the freshman from Springfield, Illinois. That is his second interception of 1978. A big break now for Eastern Illinois with 2 minutes and 31 seconds remaining third quarter. We'll be right back.
Hey, Mr. Good.
Watch the penetration by number 83, Pete Caton, that leads to the interception.
Pete Caton, a great defensive player. He makes quite Snotty unloaded early, had a tight end crossing underneath. It's overthrown. And we get the great pickoff, a leaping catch by Kevin Jones out of bounds. Great field position for Eastern Illinois.
They have the ball at the 31 at Youngstown. They trail by 8 points, 22-14. Pitch out, Pope Cobb coming right. Has Tony Scala with a good block in front, slips, and is knocked down at the 26. Scala was out there, number 62, and got a good block on Sam Barbera, number 78. But Pope Cobb is really finding the going tough. Marvelous run defense by Youngstown.
Yes, well, Youngstown has great pursuit despite the turf, and I think of all the players out there carrying the football, Pope Cobb has had the most difficulty because of his style of running.
16 yards on 8 carries, and he came in with 1,386 yards for the year. It's second down and 5. He got 5 in the last one. Waring is wide right, McGee wide left. The fullback, Jeff Forster, close for the first down. He's got it at the 20-yard line. Terry Dittmer made the stop, but Jeff Forster, the junior from Arlington Heights, Illinois, picked up the first down 10. Light snow beginning to fall in Charleston, Illinois. Got my ski gloves on. I'm ready. Feel like I'm in Steamboat, Colorado here, Ben.
Right on.
First down and 10. High set. 22-14 with 1:39 to go. Here's Forster again. Pile driving. Inside the 15 to the 13. Mark Sedgwick made the tackle. Oh, we may be setting ourselves up for a heck of a final 15.
Right, Eastern Illinois has given Youngstown some of their own medicine. Jeff Forster comes in. He's protecting that football with both arms as a good fullback should. Makes the first down.
6 yards. That was the first down play. It's second down and 4. Bob Mihalik comes tight to the right side. Scott McGee is in a wing to the left. High set behind Steve Turk. The fullback again. Inside the 10. That's close for another first down. And all of a sudden, the ground game is working for Eastern Illinois in the fashion of that young man, Jeff Forster. 5'11", 185-pound junior. And it's close enough to measure. Or did they get it? It would appear from here they got it. But they've got a little better perspective down on that field, and they will bring the sticks in just to make sure. Timeout has been called by the official for the measurement. Now, here, like you said, boy, you get that first down 9 yards and 3/4 away, and it is really tough. So while they bring the sticks out, let us remind you that a special edition of NFL football tomorrow on ABC. We know you're going to want to watch this one. Denver Broncos against the Oakland Raiders for the leadership in the AFC Western Division. First down is good. That's 9 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night over most of these ABC stations. Then on Monday Night Football, we'll have the Chicago Bears and the San Diego Chargers. Chicago with Walter Payton and San Diego with Lydell Mitchell. Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, and that'll be a fun game to watch. So a bonus treat for you coming up on Monday Night Football, Sunday night and Monday night. It's first and goal just inside the 10 with 50 seconds to go, third quarter. Turk back, fires right side. Incomplete, it was caught out of bounds. James Waring down near the goal line.
I'm sure that Steve Turk has told James Waring, get down, drive into the end zone, come right back at the pylon, and I'll throw it there. And he hit the pylon, but it was a little bit out of bounds for James.
Turk is now 8 out of 18 for 102 yards, has been intercepted 4 times. Does not have a touchdown pass today. He has thrown 27 this year. The junior from Morris, Illinois. It's second down goal. Waring wide right. McGee wide left. The fullback, Forster. This time they were waiting for him. 2 yards to the 7. Greg Fitzpatrick made the tackle. The active linebacker. Number 71, Dave Miner. There's a look at the Youngstown defense. Number 68, Mark Zetwick. 55, Greg Fitzpatrick. Number 20, Pat Farina. Third down and goal from just outside the 7 with 18 seconds to go, third quarter. Not that much of a wind north and south, so there will be no real advantage in the fourth quarter. Power eye set this time.
They may fake it. No, they didn't. They're driving.
And they don't get much. Pope Cobb down to the 6, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Youngstown 22, Eastern Illinois 14. Back with the fourth quarter action after this message and a word from our local stations. We are back at O'Brien Field in Charleston, Illinois. Verm Lundquist along with Ben Martin. Fourth down and goal. And Eastern is not going to try the field goal. They'll go for 6. Steve Turk looks left, fires it, intercepted in the end zone. That's a touchback. The 5th interception today. Kevin Statzer has his 2nd interception of the afternoon. And Steve Turk has been intercepted 5 times. That drive comes to naught.
Maybe they should have gone for the field goal, Vern. Get back in there with a chance to win. But I think Darrell was thinking, well, make a touchdown, go for 2, and we got the tie ball game.
4th and goal from the 7. They said no to the field goal. Their field goal kicker had kicked 4 out of 6 for the year. There's the man who made the decision, Darrell Mudra, in the middle window. So Youngstown has it back with 5 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. High formation. Snoddy gives it off to Marshall Brumfield out to the 23-yard line. And the interceptions have come back to haunt Eastern Illinois. 6 the first time the two teams met, and 5 this afternoon. Let's take a look at the third quarter statistics. Breakdown on what has happened so far. And there's Youngstown's dominance that they established in that third quarter.
They really have. Yards rushing is a big thing. Of course, that's Youngstown's big suit, and on a day like this, it really pays off, and they're ahead in this football game because of it.
And they have had the ball for 12 minutes longer than has Eastern Illinois. A little mix-up on the handoff, and Snoddy is nailed out on the left side. Looks like Dumas wanted to keep it, and Snoddy said, this time I'm going to have it.
I think that was a complete read of the veer attack, and if you do it properly, you do give it to the fullback, but you'd like to take it back once in a while. He didn't want to give it up. Dumas is having such a fun day.
Bill Narduzzi, far sideline. Alabama has gone out to a 10-0 lead over Auburn, and if the Bears team wins, they are in the Sugar Bowl against Penn State, a game you will see on ABC television. It's third down and 7. Blitz is on. Snoddy, he'll throw it behind Jim Ferranti. It's fourth down. So all of a sudden, this Youngstown juggernaut has come to a halt. Snoddy is now 1 out of 8 for 7 yards and has been intercepted 3 times. But they have run the ball so well, it has not really been a factor this afternoon.
No, well, the big play in that series was when they shut off the option play to the left side and threw him for a loss, got him off schedule. They had to throw it.
Mark Campana goes back to receive the punt. There's Campana, 24, has done a tremendous job today. Here's the kick. Campana will return. 45, ouch. Knocked down at the 47-yard line, but once again, pretty good field position for Eastern Illinois. We have 13 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in this football game. Youngstown holds on to an 8-point lead when we return. Eastern Illinois, 52 yards away, down by 8 points. With 13:26 to go in the game, Division II semifinal. Motion in the offensive line, and the flag goes down. Left tackle Bob Norris appeared to move before the snap, and he did. 5-yard penalty. Five-yard penalty to be marked off. There's Steve Turk, number 11, victimized by 5 pass interceptions today. Number 81 is Rob Mahalik. 28, Jeff Forster, and Pope Cobb, number 30, had a tough afternoon. Look at that, 2 yards per carry average.
Way down for him. I think the field conditions are really hurting him because he's a real stubby guy, and he was over 150 yards the last time he played against Youngstown, so this is a little disappointment. Maybe he'll break a big one for him.
First down, 15. His longest gain has been on a screen pass in the first quarter. See what Steve Turk has in mind on 1st and 15. He has a pitch out in mind. Tony Scala leading the way for Pope Cobb. Ankle tackled again, picked up about 4. Out to the 47-yard line. 13:17 remaining. Sam Barbera made the tackle, number 78. Number 95, James Waring. It'll be second down, 11. Youngstown cheerleaders made the trek over from northeastern Ohio. They are hopeful of going down to Longview, Texas next week. And either one of these teams will be there against either Delaware or Winston-Salem, and Delaware was leading. Division II National Championship a week from today in Longview, Texas. First time Longview has hosted that game. First time under the current setup it's been played because they've split into Division 1AA, Division II, and Division III. Here's Turk going deep from Mahalik, tipped and intercepted. Picked off for the 6th time. There is a flag on the field. This is down the sidelines. T.C. Reynolds is out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Now there is a flag back at the 50-yard line. That is the 6th interception today. But hold everything. Pass interference against Youngstown. Wipe out the interception.
That's a real break for Eastern, because they're about to get into that 6 interceptions a time. That interception city, that's bad. I'll tell you, that's bad news. And on a day like this, you just cannot float the ball in there. That was kind of a dying duck flying through the air that time. It was easy pickings, but they escaped that one, and Steve Turk can go back to work again.
They get the ball at the 44-yard line. First down 10, brand new life. So far today, Steve Turk has completed 8 to his guys and 5 to the other guys. And he almost had 6. But they get new life. First down 10. Makes the pitch, give it off to the fullback, and get 2 yards. Jeff Forster. And Mark Sedgwick, number 68, made the tackle. That is really a heck of a break for Eastern Illinois. If they can go on in and touch and then go for 2, we've got a tie ball game. And Ben, we said earlier now, in Division II playoffs, there's no such thing as a tie game.
No, you have to declare a winner, and they have a very special way to play it off. We'll get into that in just a little bit, Vern.
Second down and 9 at the 43-yard line with 12 minutes exactly remaining in the game. Turk will throw. Looks for the screen. Looks it out left side. Forster. He's got all kinds of room to the 30 and knocked down to the 29. That has been their best pass play today, that screen pass. And this time it's Jeff Forster. Had 16 catches coming into the ball game for the season. Think it's not chilly? Look at that exhaled breath.
The thing about that one, Quentin Lowry, number 80 for Youngstown, was a man that they fooled on the screen. They set him up, and he recovered and made the stop. He's really quite an athlete. They go into split back. There's a drop back pass. Steve Turk sets up good timing, flips it out to Jeff Forster. Good screen in front, but look at Quentin come over and make the hit.
Back to live action, first down 10. Turk, straight drop back. No blitz, looks deep, settles short. Tipped, incomplete. Intended for Poe Cobb. And Greg Fitzpatrick was in the area. 5'5". You say, well, you can't find him to throw him the ball. He had 28 catches coming in.
Yes, he normally is a very sure-handed pass catcher, and that was a delay pattern. He was set up as a halfback to the right side. He delayed and came underneath. It was a well-devised play, but the execution was just a little bit awry.
Second down 10 at the 29. Well, officially we'll call it the 30-yard line. 11:28 to go in the game. 22-14. Youngstown leads. Turk looking deep into the zone, and the receiver slips. Incomplete at the 1. Intended for Scott McGee. Kevin Statzer was back there defending. They had double coverage on Scott McGee down there near the end line.
I think they were going to go to a short man. It was a quick play fake in the backfield. Steve Turk came off it, and he saw the short man was covered, so he took another step back in depth and laid it up for Scotty McGee, just a little bit off the target.
For the season, Steve Turk was hitting about 52.5% of his passes and had thrown for 2,587 yards. Not quite that good today. He's 9 out of 22 with the 5 interceptions, and he's got a third down 10 right now. McGee goes wide right. Waring comes wide left. Lonnie Denton in the ball game. Quarterback draw didn't work. It'll be fourth down at the 32-yard line. Now what do you do? With all this time left, you go ahead and punt?
Well, he's right in no man's land. If he had a super long distance field goal kicker, that'd be the thing to do, but I don't think they have that kind of range, and they still got 11 minutes in the ball game. Tell you what, they may be playing the last 10 minutes in the dark, though, if we don't get this thing going.
Beginning to look like a scene from a Dostoevsky novel here, isn't it? With this light sleet falling. 4th and 11, and they'll go for it. I'm a little surprised, Ben.
I am too.
Offside. That will not give them the first down if the penalty is indeed against Youngstown. Motion, Youngstown, but all they do is chop off 5. They've still got a 4th down and 6.
That's kind of what they call a no-brainer, Vern. You just go up there and you get your voice modulations up or down or change it up and get those excited Youngstown Penguins to jump across that line of scrimmage. And that'll make it a little closer, but they still have a lot of yardage to make up.
See what they do now. 4th down and 6 at the 26-yard line. McGee is wide right, top of your screen, out of view, and that's James Waring, lower left-hand corner of the screen. Try it again.
Oh, they were going to have a no-brainer squared. I told you Darryl Muger repeats those plays.
Pyar squared, cornbed are around. 10:48 remaining in the ball game. We'll be back right after this. We've got a 4th down and 7 situation. I think I called it 6, but officially they have prescribed the football on the 26. It'll be 4th down and 7.
And they're still going to try to go for it. I don't know if they'll try to get the whole bundle or just try to get about a 10-yarder, Vern. I'd say they've got to make a decision on that. They'll have a guy deep and a guy short.
There's their primary receiver, lower left-hand side, James Waring. Keep your eye on him. Here's Kirk back to throw. Good protection. Across the middle, wide open. Caught by Waring. He's got a first down at the 10-yard line. James Waring, 6'4", 190. Nice delay pattern across the middle.
And you know, it was a delay, but Youngstown helped him to delay. They were going to chop him. He comes out to the left side as a wideout. They had him double covered. The short man was going to chop him, knock him down, but he wanted to get knocked down. Came up and ran right across the middle wide open.
There's the man who made the key grab. It's first down 10 at the 10. They can't get the first down without the touchdown. Flags are down. Looks like motion in the offensive line. And let's look at that play once again. The 4th down pass to Waring.
Their pro set, James Waring, spread left. He gets chopped by the short defender, and he gets up and goes into the open hole, makes a critical first down in great field position, put his team right in front of the goalpost, close to the line of scrimmage, right, ready to get in there to go ahead in this football game.
How big was that one? Well, key 5-yard penalty now, though, against Eastern Illinois. Jeff Forster comes out. Lonnie Denton is in. It's first down and 15 with 10:28 remaining in the game. And Eastern trailing by 8 points. McGee right side, Waring left. 4-man front. Here comes Crusher. Got him. 24-yard line. Fumble. Recovered by Youngstown.
Oh, no. Well, Eastern Illinois set up in their basic I formation. It's kind of a bootleg play, but where the guard pulled and left the defensive lineman come straight through, and it looked as if the ball was down on the ground, and then they didn't blow the whistle soon enough. So that's really a tragic thing to happen to Eastern, but a very alert play by Youngstown State.
That was Sam Barbera who made the tackle, number 78, the co-captain. It's first down 10, Youngstown. No way. Steve Parker up high, number 79, to make the tackle, and Randy Melvin, number 73, down low. Ben, twice now in this half, they have been down at the 10-yard line and have been unable to get it in, and that young man has got to be exasperated. Darryl
Muger, because he's a tactical kind of a coach, and he knows what he's trying to do, but the execution, because of the playing field conditions, it's very difficult for the Panthers.
9:55 remaining in our ball game. Vern Lundquist along with Ben Martin. Overcast afternoon in Charleston, Illinois. Winner of this game goes to Longview. Here's the handoff to Marshall Brumfield, and 3 yards at best on this effort. Alonzo Lee and Ray Jeske, numbers 51 and 31, doing the defensive work, and Pete Caton is also there. Marshall Brumfield did not start the ball game. Robbie Robson was the starter. Third quarter, Delaware seems to have a lock on that game, 34-0, and we would assume that Delaware now will meet either Youngstown or Eastern Illinois. Brumfield with 115 yards. And Dumas with 85 on the ground. It's 3rd down 6 with 9:08 remaining. Stani draw play. Think they haven't seen this before? Pete Caton. And Caton, nice defensive play.
That Pete Caton, the old sledgehammer, he is something else for a sophomore kid. Big, strong fella. Very proud of his aggressiveness, and he's been a thorn to Youngstown all day long. The Penguins just cannot handle him.
So once again, the Youngstown drive has come to naught. They had the 186-yard march following an interception in the 3rd quarter, but other than that, they have not moved. This Eastern defense has played quite well here in the 2nd half. Mark Campana is deep, number 24. Here's the punt. Campana at the 39. Reverse. Oh, that's not going to go anywhere. Wilbur James, number 20. Time is getting critical now. 8 minutes and 18 seconds remaining, and Eastern Illinois continues to trail by 8 points. Up in the 2nd level of the press box, the Eastern Illinois head coach, Darryl Mudra. Right up there on top of him, Ben Martin, Vern Lundquist, camera guys, spotters, statisticians, the whole crew.
In the Polar Bear Club.
Look at this. Kirk incomplete for Forster. Tried to set up the screen, didn't work that time. Great penetration by Quentin Lowry. And they tried to get it to Jeff Forster. 8:14 remaining. Of course, if they could shove it in and go for 2, we've got a tie ball game, and then we go to the tiebreaker. Part of the crowd, they had a good crowd on hand here today concerning the conditions. I tell you, it's not lovely at all.
And they came early, and they're staying late.
You bet. 8:14 to go, 2nd down 10 for the day. Turk is 10 out of 24. High set. He'll throw. Sets it up short for Pope Cobb. 5-yard pickup up, or no, it's 1-yard pickup up to the 35. Quentin Lowry made the tackle again. And we'll look at it again on isolation. Pope Cobb.
Well, Steve Turk would like to go to James Waring out to the left side, but he double covers. This is a little outline flare pattern by Pope Cobb, and has the good hands, but no footing there, and the defense is alert to it. They come across. Youngstown, they have this game now, and they don't want to give it away. They're playing with a great deal of intensity.
There's the tiny guy, 190 pounds, packed into a 5'5 frame. Split backs this time on 3rd down and 9. Turk across the middle again, caught Waring. 1st down at the 46. James Waring has been the key receiver all season and is again today.
James Waring, he's an exceptional pass receiver. He's run a little delay pattern into the center hole, and he slips down, maybe on purpose, maybe not. There's a hole in the middle vacated by the linebackers, and Steve Turk finds him, and James makes the 1st down.
That is his 7th catch of the afternoon. The drive is sustained with 7:26 to go in the ball game. 22-14. Youngstown leads. Eastern has the ball. Quick pitch. Pope Cobb comes left. Works forward to the 50, down at the 49. He picked up about 5 on that carry. Quentin Lowry in the area. Terry Dittmer made the tackle, number 59.
Now, Little Pope is having a difficult time. He's trying as hard as he can, but this is not his kind of a field to really operate on. He's running a little tentatively because of his poor footing.
It's 2nd down 5 at the 49-yard line. They've got to have a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. First time the 2 teams met, 40-24. Youngstown won it. They're in a 4-3 defense. Here's Turk back to throw. Pressure's on. Waring has the grab. 1st down at the 32. Oh, he's amazing.
He's really a super pass catcher. I'll tell you, on a day like this, he ran about a 15-yard curl-in pattern. Steve Turk put it over the linebacker, and James went up in the air and came down with it. He is really a critically important player. Here's a straight drop back. Steve Turk fires it over the linebacker. A leaping catch by a super player, James Waring.
That's his 8th catch of the day. It's 1st down 10 at the 33. Clock running with 6:25 remaining in the ball game. High formation. Draw play. Pope Cobb comes left. 25. 15. 10. 1st and goal. Hang on to your hats, folks. We may have a finish for you.
I knew that Pope would do something sooner or later, and it's sooner. It's a drop back in a pro set. They run a straight draw play. He finds a crack. Now he's really with it. Look, he worked his little feet. He's going to get in there. Not quite.
6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. 22-14. Third time Eastern has been at the 10 or inside. Here's Cobb going left. Looks like he wanted to pass it. He is caught and dropped for a loss at the 12. Let's look at that last run on the draw play once again.
This is the kind of thing that Pope Cobb can do so well. A little lateral movement because he's got great balance now. He's on a good part of the gridiron. He jukes a couple of guys, and he wants to break this one tackle. He would have scored. He breaks it, but then he gets tackled deep down in there. They should be doing that a bit more often, I think. Run him on the draw play.
They lost 3 on the last play. It's second down at 12 with 5:28 to go in the game. Darkness beginning to settle in Charleston, Illinois. Waring wide right, Scott McGee wide left. Kurt will throw. Across the middle, caught. Touchdown!
Oh, here's James Waring coming across the middle on that same crossing pattern. They're locked on man for man. Quentin can't stay with it. The ball's right on the money. He's in the end zone. Now a two-pointer make it a tie. They got to go for 2.
There was a player down. Now let's set it up for you. We have 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Our score right now, 22-20. There is no choice. They must have the tie because if it ends in a tie, we go to sudden death playoff.
Coaching staff usually have a very, very special play for a two-pointer, Vern, because the defense can do no evil. If they intercept, they can't run with it. So we're going to see something here out of Darrell Muger's hat. Maybe a rabbit.
Power I formation. Kurt puts it up. Waring, incomplete. So the score stays 22-20. But sit down and hang on. We've still got 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Back to the kickoff right after this. That is Jim Ferrati, number 82. He is at the 15-yard line. Every one of his teammates, all of the other 10, are up close anticipating an onside kick. I don't know, Ben, with 5:15 to go, do you think they might kick it deep?
It's a little early, but I really don't know what they're going to do. Their defense has been holding up.
There are the 10 guys in white who are up close to the 50-yard line. And there's Dan DiMartino. We'll see what he has in mind. 22-20. He goes deep. Ferrati at the 12-yard line. 15, 20, 22.
A good decision, really sound decision, because their defense has been playing well. If they can force a turnover, they still got 5 minutes to do their thing.
Jim Ferrati got it back to the 23. 5 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Youngstown has been unable to move, save for one possession in the second half. They did march 86 yards for the field goal in the third quarter that now provides their margin of difference. That was a 42-yarder from Chuck Canale that limped over the bar by a foot. They have the ball with 5:13 to go, first down and 10. Here's the handoff. No, Snoddy still has it. Fumble! Scramble for the ball. Eastern Illinois has recovered at the 9-yard line.
Oh, my goodness, there's a scramble for it. I was really surprised at that play call, the pitch out when they're backed up. I thought they could go back to their smash football and try to work it out to midfield. Tom Pettigrew.
He's a junior from Roanoke, Virginia. And in his 3 previous years here at Eastern, he has probably never made a bigger play. Eastern Illinois has the ball with 5:06 remaining. And they've got a first down and goal from the 9. They trail by 2 points. They are going from a power I set. They have had trouble moving on the ground. They'll try it now. Pope Cobb to the 5, to the 4-yard line.
They are really fired up, Vernon. So am I. This is really some football game. All the marbles on the line.
There's a player down. Pat Dorina, the cornerback. Look at that crowd. Pat Dorina, cornerback for Youngstown, is the injured player. And your hearts have to go out to the Youngstown team, 10-1 for the year. They had the lead by 2, and all of a sudden the pitch out goes awry, and the whole complexion of the game changes.
Well, right before they ran that pitch out option, I was just thinking to myself that they were going to go back and play slam football to get it in there, but they came off with a veer option to the left side. We had good stout defense, but Pete Cates, and he's tough. He plays that option so well. He makes them pitch it out. It's thrown in bad shape out there. It's earned the scrambling for. This is like being in a dream trying to get on that football. But they got on it in great field position. Now they're really threatening at the 3.
Second down and goal at the 3. And here come the Panthers of Eastern Illinois, trailing by 2. So much at stake in this game. Lonnie Denton, nothing. It's third and goal from the 3.
You remember that Youngstown, the Penguins, have given only about 85 yards a game of rushing on the grounds that are really tough on defense up front.
Darryl Mudra will call this play from his perch in the press box. Third down and goal from just outside the 2-yard line and just inside the 3. 4:17 to go. They might come left if they keep it on the ground to set it up for a possible field goal. We'll see what happens.
That might be expedient.
They are on the far hash mark. Power eye set. Left side. Touchdown! How about it?
Pandemonium.
Pope Cobb bottled up all afternoon. Got loose on a draw play for 1 touchdown or set it up. And he gets the 6th that has put Eastern Illinois in front with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
I think that Pope Cobb gave himself a little tongue lashing. He really came through under pressure when he was needed. He ran the draw play.
Eastern Illinois has called timeout. They have now used 2 of their allotted 3, but they have reassumed the lead with the extra point to come. On the sideline, the concerned look on the face of Bill Narduzzi. His team now down by 4, and Eastern Illinois is going to go for 2. It's 26-22 right now. Kurt, play action. Fires it deep. Incomplete. So a touchdown puts Youngstown back out in front. He intended the pass for Lonnie Denton. 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go in this ball game. They've been shut down now, Ben. They've got the ground-oriented attack, and it's got to hamper them now trying to play catch-up football with that much time left.
Well, they've got time, Vern. I think if they're patient, and Bill Narduzzi is, he's patient. He's an accomplished, experienced coach. I don't think that they'll panic in this situation. They're just gonna try to maintain possession and do it. Here's the touchdown play out of the power eye set with only 1 man outside to give the little Pope Cobb, and he finds daylight and he leaps into the air and gets into the end zone. He's been kind of held back all day today, but he has this thing going in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Tell you, he had blocks from Bob Norris, Kurt Aloisio, Jack Lafferty, and primarily his fullback Lonnie Denton leading him through there, and they really opened the gaps. By the way, before it gets away from us, I want to thank our statistician today, Brad Patterson, and Matt Pasinski, who in between going wild here to my right has been spotting for Eastern Illinois, and Jack Rang, who is professor of speech at Eastern Illinois, who's been spotting for Youngstown.
And he's speechless today, I'll say that.
4:04 to go. Dan DiMartino will kick it off. What a ball game we've had. Here's the kick by DiMartino. Robbie Robson and Marshall Brumfield. It's Brumfield at the 9. 20, 31-yard line. They are 69 yards away with 3:59 to go in the game. Keith Snoddy for the day is 1 out of 8 for 7 yards and has been intercepted 3 times and has been sacked 4 times. And the winner of this game will meet Delaware 1 week from today in Longview for the Division II National Championship.
Let's see how patient they are now. Youngstown, the Penguins have 4 minutes to do it.
First down 10. High set, double tight end offense. They've not changed their alignment. Snoddy, draw play, Brumfield, cut down after a gain of 2. Coming up, Ben Martin and I will be selecting the outstanding offensive and defensive players of the game for Chevrolet. And in their honor, $1,000 scholarships will go to the General Scholarship Fund of the school for whom they play. We're going to hold on that for just a bit.
I think so. This game has still got a long way to go.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed it, all of you here in the Midwest. It has been a great football game. It's second down and 7. Snoddy pitches back, left side, front field. Shakes the ankle tackle, drives out of bounds at the 35, or the 40. It'll be third down and 2. Coming up tomorrow on College Football 1978, we'll have highlights of today's key contest. Second-ranked Alabama against Auburn. Also Army-Navy, plus a review of the 1978 season. That's College Football 78. Check the local listing for the time in your area over most of these ABC stations with host Bill Fleming. Alabama-Auburn, Army-Navy, and a review of the 1978 season tomorrow. Right now, critical third down and 2 play. On third down conversions, Youngstown has been tremendous, 6 out of 11. Those are the 2 setbacks in the eye. Third and 2 at the 39. Marshall front field, first down. They keep the drive going at the 44 with 3:12 remaining. Ira Jefferson made the tackle.
I would say that Coach Bill Narduzzi is being patient. He believes in his offense. They've been champions with this offense. They're staying with it. They still got 3 minutes to do it. They're being very patient right now, Baron.
Youngstown 10-1 for the year. The only defeat to Villanova, Division I school. They won the first match between these two. Bill Narduzzi, the coach, on the far side. First down, 10 at the 44. High set once again. Dumas, the short man. The handoff, Dwight Dumas, knocked down after a gain of 2. The clock shows 2:55 and unraveling. Narduzzi working those headsets, pacing that sideline, trying to come up with a magic play right now. They still have not thrown the football. Brumfield with 126 yards. Dumas with 87. That's been the thrust of their attack. It's second down and 8 with 2:30 to go. Snoddy left side. He'll keep and cut and shakes loose. First down at the 45-yard line of Eastern Illinois. And the clock will stop on the first down play in college football. Give them a bit of breathing space while they reset the chains. First and 10 at the 45. Final score, Delaware has advanced to the Division II championship game in Longview next week.
And Tubby Raymond's Blue Hens will be there. They're a well-drilled football team running that wing T attack. They're going to be an exciting contender for the national championship in Division II.
A field goal won't get it for Youngstown. They've got to have 6. High formation. Dumas, the fullback, big hole, 32-yard line. Got blocks from Ed McGlasson, Ralph Orsini, and Tom Clifford up front. And he's closing in on a 100-yard afternoon.
Now it looks like the Eastern Illinois coaching staff has seen that they're going to be patient on the attack. They put some bigger guys in there. They got to crowd that line of scrimmage, Vern.
Dwight Dumas with 99 yards. It's first down 10 with 2 minutes exactly to go in the game. 26-22. Snoddy, pitch back front field. He chased, caught, and dropped. Kevin Jones, freshman cornerback from Springfield, Illinois.
You know, most of the games when you get down to this, you put the nickel defense in, but they put in 8 people up front. You got a key tackle. It was a busted play. It was going to be a fullback slant. But they crowd the line of scrimmage with 10 people that time. A great adjustment tactically by Eastern Illinois to shut off that ground game.
Second down and 12, 90 seconds to go. 4-point deficit facing Youngstown. They have the ball at the 36-yard line. Pops it over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Jim Ferretti. It looked like it might have been tipped in the line of scrimmage interior. Bill Narduzzi says, calm down, everything's fine.
I don't know how he stays warm on the sideline, man. He doesn't have enough clothes on. I guess it has to do with his state of mind.
Adrenaline, yeah. Filtering through the body and warming him up.
Both coaching staffs doing a fantastic job in this football game.
There's Darrell Mudra. He's still sitting down at least. It's third down and 12. Ferrati is wide to the right. Snoddy looks left. Goes deep. Has a man open. Did he catch it or trap it? Incomplete. He trapped the ball.
It was a scooper. It bounced in there. The official right on the word. Oh, that was a big play. He had him wide open. He was rolling left, though. He couldn't quite get set. So he threw it on a one-hopper.
Well, how do you like your finish? What do you do if you're a coach? It's 4th down and 12. You're in a semifinal game. Your team trails by 4. What you do is call timeout.
That's exactly right, and that's what Coach Narduzzi's doing. I tell you, he wants that Keith Snoddy to come over and tell him what he should do. I tell you, now this is great. At this level of football, those people are very democratic. They're talking this over. What can we do? What should we do? And they're actually going to vote on this because they have to have one play that'll get it done.
And those are the 2 key guys right there with Bill Narduzzi. Jim Ferretti has been blanked today. He has not caught a pass. He has 42 for the year. He's the game breaker. Keith Snoddy is 1 out of 10 for 7 yards, 3 interceptions and 4 sacks.
Well, Jim Ferrani, of course, has been a deep threat, but on a day like this, I doubt it. If he can get 15 yards out of a completion, his first completion of the day, that would do it because they have first down with over a minute left.
Well, the choice has been made. It has come to this. 1:13 remaining. There's the offensive huddle. 26-22, Youngstown trails. They have a 4th down and 12 at the Eastern Illinois 35-yard lines. Sit back and enjoy it. Here we go. Ferrani, wide right, Beal wide left. 4-man rush. Across the middle, deep. The man was open. The pass is incomplete. Heartbreak on the one side, ecstasy in the stands.
They really had it set up that time, I'll tell you. Everybody's keen on Jimmy Ferrani, but they had Randy Steele on the other side. They looked him off, looked for Ferrani deep, and had a curl-in pattern for the first down, and he was wide open, but they could not get the ball to him.
Bill Narduzzi's team down by 4. Now Eastern Illinois has to evaporate 68 seconds on the clock and check the airline connections to Longview, Texas. The give left side. Pope Cobb picks up 2. And timeout will be called by Youngstown State. They will kill the clock with exactly a minute remaining.
Boy, has this been an exciting football game. What about those Chevrolet players now, Bert?
Well,
Darryl Muger's one of them.
Yeah, right. And Narduzzi's another one.
Right. Those 2 guys have really worked hard today. Fantastic job of coaching by both staffs.
They have 2 timeouts remaining. And the student body is down on the track getting ready for an eruption here at the end of the game. Who can blame them? Now, what an amazing story. You know, the last time they were in a playoff game, 1948 in the Corn Bowl.
Corn Bowl?
Yeah.
Where was that rascal held?
I can tell you the Corn Bowl. I don't know where they played it.
That's now defunct, I think.
Yeah. It's been shucked.
But I tell you, what a great turnaround for Darryl Muger and his program. Of course, this game isn't over yet.
No, sir, because they almost have to get the first down. Youngstown has 2 timeouts left. It's 2nd down. The handoff in tight to Lonnie Denton. "55 seconds to go." Bill Narduzzi on the sideline, 55 seconds remaining. And in just a few seconds, we'll announce our Chevrolet offensive and defensive players of the game. Might be fun for you to try and outguess us. I'll say this, we have vacillated a little bit.
Yes, we have. But so has the game and the scoreboard and everything.
ABC, we're number 1 along with Bud. The Penguins and the Panthers. Timeout has been called by Youngstown. They make... Okay, let's announce our Chevrolet offensive player of the game. He came on strong in the 4th quarter. He has caught 9 passes today. He's number 95, James Waring of Eastern Illinois. What a ball game he's had. And the defensive player of the game, Pete Caton, also defensive end of Eastern Illinois. And in their honor, $1,000 scholarships go to the General Scholarship Fund at Eastern Illinois. Well, folks, it is not over. 46 seconds remaining. Eastern will use its final timeout, but it'll be 4th down, and they will get the ball one more time. There's a player down at the 45-yard line. And this may be an official timeout now. They have not indicated that it's Youngstown's timeout. And a player down at the 40-yard line. 46 seconds remaining. Mark Zetwick, apparently the injured player. Look at that celebration.
You know what, Vern, to me, this is such a great payoff for Darrell Mudra and his staff. They have reestablished a positive attitude at Eastern Illinois. And these are the young people who are really taking advantage of that. They love this team. They love their school. They're proud to be in the Division II championship.
I remember a couple of years back, well, it's been 3 or 4, Northern Michigan under Gil Krieger had a 0-10 season, and the next year turned it around and won the National Division II championship. Who's to say these young guys couldn't do it again? They were 1-10 a year ago, but this year they're 9 wins. It's a school record. The old record was 8 in 1914.
That's an amazing turnaround, and congratulations to everybody involved with Eastern Illinois. We got 38 seconds to go. It's 4th down. What are they going to do here?
I'll tell you, they were playing with a pig bladder the last time they won this many games.
That's what I started to play with. What do you mean?
Hey, by the way, the Naval Academy, your alma mater, playing Army at the conclusion of our ball game today.
There's a lot on the line for that. Bragging rights for a whole year.
Steve Turk, timeout, delay of game. Or there's a flag down on the far side. Delay of game.
They got to kick it now. Or I don't know if they do. 18 seconds. What are you going to do? They don't want to get a punch lock.
I still think I'd kick it.
It's decision time in Illinois.
They have had 1 block today.
They've had a couple of high snappers.
Yeah, you're right. Well, timeout to talk it over. And so don't go away. It ain't over. 18 seconds remaining, and they've got to either run it, pass it, or kick it.
Well, how about if the guys on the sideline don't have a telephone connection to Coach Darrell Mudra? They have really got something to think about now. Now they know what it means to be a head football coach in a game as vitally as important as this one is.
Well, they've already got the goalpost down. Well, partially down, Joe Assetti, our director, says. It isn't down all the way. And they've got them down at both ends, which would set up an interesting situation in the event that.
And it's coming down. Oh, they're bending them back. They got it open wider now. That'd make it a little easier to kick it through there. I think those are Youngstown guys over there.
There's our Chevrolet offensive player of the game, James Waring. 9 catches for 98 yards.
What a day. Fabulous day for a pass receiver on a day like this. 35 degrees, raining throughout the contest.
That's the ugliest goalpost I ever saw.
Hey, Bob, get back on the rim. Back on the rim.
Check that right upright.
That's for sidewinders, you know. They hook them to the left a little bit.
That's pointing the direction to Champaign-Urbana Airport. That's what it is for the getaway.
Well, that's the exuberation of some great guys and girls here on Eastern Illinois campus. They're so fired up about this. It's been such a long time coming, and they want to make sure it gets done right. 18 seconds to go.
And we've just got to wait while they get things settled down there in the end zone. And they're talking it over on the near side. What do you think? They're having a discussion, trying to get these students cleared away from the end zone. And the official is not yet come. He will not start the game until he gets it back.
Well, that's crowd control. It's up to the home team. The administration must do that, and I know they're going to try to, but the enthusiasm is so contagious here on the campus of Eastern Illinois, and these young people have waited for such a long time for this to happen. They want to be a part of it.
That was Mike Mullally, the athletic director, who was conferring with the referee. And Bill Narduzzi now getting informed as to what is going on. We'll wait. And the referee is still over on the sideline. Scott McGee is ready to kick it. But Bill Narduzzi with the referee says, wait a minute.
Well, they're off the playing field now. I think the referee should come back and get this over with because the 18 seconds left, they're not interfering with play at this point.
And should Youngstown score, they would go in front by 2, 28-26. Now we'll see what we're going to do.
The guy's saying, to roll the clock. We're ready to play.
Going to clock it on the field, I think is what he said. They're counting down, but I think they're going to clock it on the field.
Ben. Oh, Mike, he's never going to get these people off the field. Now they think the game's over. Wow.
Now they really got a mess. Now they really got a mess.
I can't believe that one.
There should have been some kind of public address statement made, I believe. But now they've got the student body out there. They're going to keep the clock on the field, and the goalpost is totally going down at both ends. Whoops, as Chris said last night.
They underestimated these young people's enthusiasm. I mean, they really want to. There goes the other goalpost. And I know...
Somebody could get hurt when that thing's falling down there.
Oh, those are heavy goalposts. If they hit you on the head, man, you've had it.
Well, they should have announced what they were doing, but they started the clock, and the official said we're going to keep the time on the field, so they'll reset the clock. But the fans had no way of knowing that. They looked up and saw the clock running, and boom, here they went.
I never saw anything like that before in the whole history of football.
Now they have reset the clock at 20 seconds. That's what we heard him say.
Wanted to save 2 seconds.
And they've got him off the field now.
That's amazing. These kids are really disciplined. I would never believe they'd have gotten that accomplished.
Well, let's try it again. All right, 4th down and 11. And after all of that, we have 20 seconds to go. Scott McGee is back to kick. Here comes the snap. He's going to run it out.
Oh, good play.
He goes right. He is cut down at the 35-yard line with 14 seconds to go. The clock stops on the change of possession, and Youngstown will have an opportunity.
They've got time for a couple of plays.
You bet they do, with 14 seconds remaining, and McGee hanging onto his helmet. Youngstown, and they've sent Bill Fink in, the backup quarterback. Last week, he threw the 32-yard pass with 4 minutes to go to Jim Ferrati that gave Youngstown the victory over Nebraska-Omaha.
Here comes a drop back.
Oh! He goes out and he is down. Cannot believe it. They cannot stop the clock. They're out of timeouts.
What a way to go.
2, 1. Now it is officially over.
Look at that.
You are watching the celebration that has ended 28 years of frustration. The last time Eastern Illinois had a winning record was 1951. The last time they played in any kind of a bowl game was 1948, 30 years ago. But now they will play Delaware for the national championship 1 week from today. We'll be back with some final comments after this message. There is joy in Charleston this afternoon because once again our final score, Eastern Illinois University 26, Youngstown University 22. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United built the largest airline in the free world around you. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
This week on ABC, watch as Lucan is betrayed by a sinister government agent who tricks Lucan into finding a secret gold mine. Check your local listings for the day and time in your area.
Scramble for it. They're really swimming along on that wet turf scramble. Eastern Illinois comes up for it. The big turnover, it got them back in a football game. They go to a power eye set, and little Pope Cobb goes into the, he jumps over. He goes 5 feet 5 inches tall into the air, jumping into the end zone for the go-ahead points.
And then, of course, it got very wild at the end of the game as Youngstown began to drive, had a 4th down 12. The goalpost.
College Scoreboard has been brought to you by Prudential. When you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. For life, health, auto, or home insurance, get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance. This has been an ABC Sports presentation.
Lots of laughs tonight. Woodman freaks out when a famous rock star wants to record Washington.